Daredevil's heating up. The Russo brothers drop an MCU bombshell, and Sadie Sink is swinging into Spider-Man 4. Plus, Vision Quest begins. James Gunn teases DC fans, and Invincible delivers an epic finale. We've got all the biggest updates, so let's dive in. Hey.
Hello! Welcome to episode 32.
Yes. Oh, man. Let's go ahead and kick us off with some Marvel and jump into some Daredevil.
Okay.
Daredevil, episode 3, the hollow of his hand.
Yes.
Oh my god, it is so strong still. And so much has happened in 3 episodes.
Yeah.
Uh so yeah, I'll go through kind of the breakdown real quick of what happens in episode 3, then jump into some of our thoughts on this. The episode picks up immediately after the cliffhanger from episode 2. Hector Ayala, known secretly as White Tiger, is standing trial for the murder of a police officer. The city is divided, and some see him as a hero and others as a dangerous vigilante. Meanwhile, Matt Murdock is preparing for one of the most high-stake cases of his career. Determined to prove Ayala's innocence, the bulk of the episode takes place in the courtroom where Matt, as Ayala's defense attorney, battles against a prosecution led by District Attorney Benjamin Huckberg. Officer Powell, a key witness for the prosecution, takes the stand, painting Ayala as a ruthless criminal who murdered an officer in cold blood. Powell, however, is clearly lying, and Matt, using his enhanced senses, picks up the subtle changes in Powell's heartbeat, indicating deception. Matt tries to introduce Nikki Torres, a confidential informant who knows the truth about the police corruption linked to Ayala's arrest. However, before Torres can testify, he is intimidated by the officers in the courtroom, and he lies on the stand, weakening Ayala's case. Matt makes a shocking move. He reveals in open court that Hector Ayala is White Tiger. His goal? To shift the narrative, making the jury see Ayala as a hero who fought to protect Hell's Kitchen, not as a criminal. The revelation stuns the courtroom and the media, and it's a risky move, but it works, and people begin to rally behind Ayala. Meanwhile, in the shadows, Wilson Fisk is tightening his grip on the city. After a powerful closing argument from Matt, the jury deliberates and ultimately finds Ayala not guilty. It's a massive victory for Matt and a testament to his skills as a lawyer. Ayala walks free, the people cheer, and for a moment it seems justice has prevailed. However, that victory is short-lived as Ayala suits up as White Tiger once more. So as we see White Tiger going to help someone that he hears screaming, someone steps out of the shadows and shoots him point blank in the head. The assassin walks away, and as he disappears into the night, we see a chilling detail. He's wearing a vest with a faint white skull emblem. And we know what they're trying to do here. They're trying to, make us think it's the Punisher, but obviously we know this isn't Frank's style.
That's not the Punisher.
Yeah.
He wouldn't do that. Like, for the moments for the show, that, like, we can talk about, like, I mean, like, you can see, like, the distrust on Ayala's face when he realizes that Matt told everybody in the courtroom
Yeah.
and on the news that he was White Tiger. Complete, like, blindsided. Like, he himself was blindsided. And then you really got to see Matt get tested because everybody was talking about how, like, or Wilson Fisk rather was talking about how you shouldn't trust a man with a mask, and how
Right.
like, and then you hear Ayala also say that, like, even if I didn't put the mask on again, because Matt told him you can't ever put on the mask again after he revealed it in court that he's White Tiger. So when Matt was in the court, or correction, when they were talking, like, the two of them, Ayala and Matt, like, off to the side after that was revealed, Matt was like, you can't wear the White Tiger mask again. And Ayala was like, dude, it doesn't take the mask to be the man in the mask. And I think that was a really touching and powerful moment for
Yes.
Matt, because he's doing that struggle right now where he's like, do I put it on again? Do I not put it on again? He just beat up those two cops, so we got to kind of see their interaction at the beginning of and he was playing dumb, Matt was playing dumb in the bathroom, like, oh, who is that? Like, I can't say. And he was like, no,
Yeah.
bullshit. Like, I know your shit now.
I
Yeah.
loved where he got smug with him in the court. He's like, "I hear you have a black eye." I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh my god."
He's just getting under his skin. He's just
Yeah.
digging. And then you hear like the cops say like, "Oh, Torres can't get on the stand." So a lot of them know like the truth behind what's happening. Um, but like, all of the people were there, all of the cops were there in the courtroom, and then Torres gets on the stand, and Matt asks him like, "Where were you that night?" And Torres straight up says, like, straight up lies. He's like, "I was at home all
Yeah.
night."
Yeah.
And
Oh,
I
when
was
that
like,
happened,
"Damn.
I was like, "No." Oh my god. Because like
You did all of this. You gave him
yeah,
drugs. Like, you did
had a
all
decoy
of this
vehicle.
shit." Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
when they opened up the back of that van, I was like, yeah,
He got
that's right."
away.
Yep. Yeah, because I was
And
like,
he
"Oh,
got
man, they're gonna
away.
kill him before he gets on stand."
Yeah. But then he got away, and to do what? To lie on the stand, to
Right.
not even help out the case. So what was the purpose?
Yep.
Um, God, it was a great episode. Um, the and I mean, like, seeing the Punisher like walk, or the Punisher like emblem, walk
Mhm.
towards the screen, and then it just fades to black, and I'm like, oh man.
I know.
You
So
remember how like the last episode of Fundamentals, we talked about how I just wanted Ayala to just like put up the mask and
yeah,
like live out his life. That did not
I
happen.
know,
I was completely wrong.
like, while the credits are rolling at the end, you hear those tree frogs and the ocean waves. I was like, "Oh my god." Like, yeah.
Because
Yeah,
he
'cause
talked
I'm
about the frogs and how everybody thinks that they're a menace, and that the people
mhm.
actually like are like, no, those the songs of our country.
Yeah, and look, what's crazy is like, we've talked about, I've mentioned I was like, they may kill his character off, because,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna be honest with you, like the way it kept going, I'm like, okay. I started to like to believe that maybe the character's not gonna get killed off and he may just be putting up the mantle. But then when he suits up, I'm like, this ain't gonna probably be good. And then boom,
No,
it
I
it
thought
was
he wasn't gonna leave the house. I thought he was just suiting
yeah.
up for one last time to look at himself in the mirror and then take it off.
Oh,
I
really?
was hoping into the last minute where you saw him jogging down that street. And now, as soon as he got to that corner, and then the guy stepped out, I
Yeah.
was like,
I
"Fuck."
was shocked. It was a good I say good, it was a surprise moment. Oh, but man, it
Yeah,
pissed me off.
but they
'Cause we
they
we didn't
played
get
it
to
out
see him a
very
whole lot
good,
either.
though.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah. And I think that was also because the actual actor himself was battling with cancer, and
Right.
dealing with like actual personal stuff. So I like that they still used his character and used his scenes even after he had passed, and
Mm.
try to get the most out of it. I think that was really touching and
He's
beautiful.
a great actor too.
Hmm.
Like his character, yeah, I mean, it made you he did really well.
Hmm.
Vanessa and Fisk.
Ooh.
Woo,
Ooh.
man. Like,
um
I ain't gonna lie, I'm digging this, Kingpin, mantle that she's carrying, but man,
yeah,
she is not
she's the
about him
king,
right now.
or the queen pin, I guess you could
You're
call it. I
right,
don't know.
yeah.
So, I love that she's like in control and everything, but I
Mhm.
feel so bad for Wilson Fisk right now because he's just like,
I just
I
want my
did all
wife.
of this, and now, well, he wants to kind of try to be the better part and try to get the city clean, and it looks like
Even
he's
though he's
actually
gonna
trying.
threaten the police commissioner with his secret kid.
Well, okay, so like sometimes you got to play dirty to play fair, like, and it's not like he actually did anything. He
Yeah.
was just threatening him, like, bitch, I know about your secret life. Like, you test me, I'ma test you. Like, don't, what is the don't start none, won't be none, or you play silly games, you win silly prizes. Like,
Right.
there's all of those like sayings for this scene of you you fuck around and you find out.
I'm anxious to see how else they bump heads because he's like, "Be
Yeah.
careful of this game, you're playing," or something like that. Whatever it was, it was a
Mhm.
little smart ass thing he
Yeah.
said before he walked out of the room, and I was like, yeah, I
I
don't
think we're
know."
gonna see more of Vanessa and how she has her hands behind the scenes and how she's actually undermining what Wilson is doing. But what do you think is
Mm,
gonna happen? Because they're going to marriage counseling right now.
I know.
And do you think that's gonna work out? Do you think that they're gonna stay together? Do you think that Wilson's gonna kill her and take over again as the Kingpin. Like,
I have a feeling she's gonna die this season.
mm,
I think he's gonna lose his shit. I don't think marriage
by whose
counseling's gonna
hand
work. I think
is
it's gonna be
Daredevil
by
gonna do it?
no, I think it's gonna be I think it's gonna end up being a deal where he kills her. I don't
Mm.
know what happened, but he's gonna, like, lose his shit, flip a switch, but then I think, like, once they flips that switch, he kills her by whatever
I
she
think she's
does
gonna
that
still
makes him
see Adam. I think
yeah,
that's what it's gonna be.
and, I think that once he kills her, that's a switch that will never be turned back off, and, like, a whole new even more villainous side than what we've seen, I think, is,
Hmm.
gonna be him from here on out.
And maybe that's why he meets up with Spider-Man, and he's Spider-Man's villain now.
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't
I'm
know.
ready to see him in some Spider-Man though. Oh man, how about that? Muse paintings we're getting. You know, this one we also got the Punisher School by Muse, and it says triggered across the
Oh, I
forehead.
forgot about that. Yeah,
Yeah,
dude,
yeah.
that was
And then and
it
like
was
the
good.
teeth is like the silhouette of New York with the Statue of Liberty and stuff. Yeah.
Dude, you have way more essay on what just happened with that because I was just like, oh, that was cool. And I just kept watching. But I didn't like analyze the actual muse
Mm-hmm.
like painting itself. So like I think that that is like amazing. God, I can't believe I missed that. But here's a picture of Ayala before his last time.
Mm.
Like suiting up right before he gets shot in the head.
Yeah.
And God, and you can see
It's
him
such a
like looking
heavy
off into a
episode.
distance. And yes, yes, yeah.
Mm, mm.
Um, but I mean,
Also,
I
I
can't
wonder
believe
what.
that I missed that Muse thing. I can't believe I
Yeah.
missed it.
So we've gotten we've seen the Kingpin one, you know, the one of Wilson, and now this is our second one. I also wonder like when his character is going to come into play because you know we're so heavy right now into you know Ayala. Obviously, he was
Yeah,
just killed, you know, and now we have this group of cops are you know wearing the skull, and we're probably going to get the Punisher in. I'm assuming he's probably going to come in on the next episode.
I'm
Uh,
hoping.
but then,
God
like, you know, we
damn.
still have Muse, which is, you know, the main villain of this season. And I'm curious, like, when that's going to take place. Like, we've had so much happen in 3 episodes already. And we still have, because before this even came out, remember, we seen Ms. Marvel. Her dad's going to be in this as well. I think he's representing him. I don't know why, but I know he's going to be in this. I think it
Oh,
showed like a scene where he's in the court with Matt. So we still have that we haven't came across happen yet as well.
I don't remember what you're talking about, but
Yeah.
cool. So we have that, and we know that at one point that there is like Daredevil written, like Muse like. We have the fight of Daredevil and Muse inside of like his lair with like the drawings that Muse has up. So
Mhm.
we have a couple of scenes that we still haven't put together as to like how this all happens. I mean, you have the John Berthal and um, Charlie Cox scene
Right.
where
Where he's pretty
Punisher like
heated.
yeah, yeah. So I mean, like we have a couple of scenes that we still have yet to see. I love that we have like long episodes and that it's just so in depth and it means like it's grabbing at your heartstrings already and it's only episode 3.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, so what episode do you think it's gonna be the next one, or when do you think we're gonna see Matt suit back up again?
2 episodes from now.
2 episodes.
Yeah,
Okay.
because I think
I
he
hope
has to
it's sooner than
see
later. So
the Punisher again before he suits back up.
okay, that makes sense. I see where you're going with that.
Because even with the scene that we saw the Punisher and Daredevil
Hmm.
together, he wasn't suited up, was
Right.
he? No,
Uh,
he was.
no, no, no. I thought. Well, shoot, I don't remember to be honest with you now.
I don't remember either anymore.
Yeah,
I
I
just second
don't.
guess myself. I'm gonna say that he's not, and hope for the best.
I done forgot. I just remember they were super heated, and then like he
Right, and I
punches something.
remember,
Yeah,
and he like so. Daredevil or Matt or whatever like grabbed him and pushed him up against like a set of lockers or a
yeah,
wall or
yeah.
something.
Yep.
Um, God damn it, I can't remember. But I think it's gonna be after he sees Daredevil, or sorry, Punisher. Daredevil's going to suit back up after he sees Punisher, and he realized that shit's going sideways, and he can't take the back seat anymore. He has
Mm.
to put that suit back on, or maybe it's when. Wilson Fisk does this whole talk, and he really like it settles that he ain't shit.
Right. You
I
know,
don't know,
like
man.
Matt too, once he finds out about the death, he's going to carry that guilt with him, like just because of who he is. He's going to blame
I
himself
mean,
and
I
like,
don't know
ugh.
because like he told him not to put on the mask
Oh,
again. He
okay.
told him not to
You're
do
right.
that.
I didn't think
And
about that.
I think that his conscience he's still going to be upset about it,
Right.
absolutely, but I think his conscience itself is going to be clear because he
He
didn't
did tell him he
like
can't wear it again
yeah,
ever. You're right.
right,
I didn't think
right.
about that. Huh.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm ready. I'm ready for Tuesday though. I'm ready to see the continuation of some more of the story.
Yeah. Yeah. Me too. And then to know that we're getting a season 2 after this, like eventually.
Oh
I'm just
yeah.
so
Well,
excited.
they're
I'm so
filming
excited.
it now, I think, aren't they?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Oh man, I'm so ready. So ready. I just once not even over with yet. I don't even know what I'm ready for, but I just know I'm ready.
I don't know. I
So
don't know.
on to other news. Marvel apparently gave Russo brothers some baseball cards with all the actors on it, and on each card with the actors, it says, I think, what was the? It says like
Their
how many
amount of like movie
contracts.
deals left, yeah.
Yeah, how many contracts they have left with their movie deals, and then
Yeah.
also on another part of the card, it shows their cost and how expensive they are. And they
Mhm.
kind of like just gave them to them because that's like the easiest thing I guess they could come up with.
Yeah, because
Which is which.
they said Marvel said that they gave it to the Russo Bros because they're like, so you can keep track of who you're putting in what movie, and to know like where else you can put somebody in. And I'm like, oh, that's
Yeah.
so cool. That's
Well,
so cool.
first thing came in my mind too was Agent Coulson in the first Avengers movie where he's talking about
With
he
the base
has the
with
vintage
the yeah,
cards, baseball cards of Captain America.
yeah.
I was like, Agent Coulson would be proud.
Yeah. I absolutely love that because God, I love having like something in person that I can like jigsaw puzzle.
Hmm.
Um, because I really like puzzles. So God, I hope that one day, like after all is said and done, after we get Secret Wars that comes out, like that somebody took a picture of like the chaos of what this looked like,
Oh
and
man,
we
I
get to see it.
can't even imagine. Uh, Also something like we're both super excited about, and we've been longing to see him for a minute now on screen. But Vision Quest is officially filming now, so
Yeah.
yeah, I've
Do
been.
we don't know for sure that it's still called Vision Quest.
Yeah, as of right
So
now,
like
that's like the last title that was circulating.
yeah, but this is the third thing for WandaVision, Agatha, and now
Yep.
Vision Quest, third series, if you will. God, do you think like I don't know. I don't know. I want Wanda to come back in any type of way. So I can't wait to see what they do with this. I want to get more information as to when we're getting it, where it lies
Yeah.
in the timeline. I want to get some like leaked footage, kind of like we did with Agatha, that
And I
totally led us astray.
and I really
Or
wanna know, like, are they
yeah.
gonna bring in Tommy, onto this part since, it was Billy on the other,
Mhm.
uh because, I mean, if they're already filming it and then with Agatha just ending, it very may well be where they bring in Tommy is on this as well. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
There's so
I'm
many
ready.
questions and so many things that
Yeah,
need to happen, or not need to happen, but we want to have happen, I
right.
guess is the right better words.
So, it's, also official now. Sadie Sink from Stranger Things is officially cast for Spider-Man 4.
Yeah,
She has red
there.
hair, and people are going off the wall with fan casting for red hair. But as we all
Yeah,
know, I mean, they can change their hair color, and a lot of people tend to do for these Marvel,
yeah,
movies and stuff. Who would you like to see her play? A lot of people are saying like Mary Jane Watson, but we do have a Michelle Jones Watson, so I don't necessarily know if we're going to go
yeah.
another
I
Mary
don't want
Jane.
her to be
Yeah.
MJ. But if she wants to be Spider Gwen or Jean Grey,
Hmm. Yeah, so
I'm
some
okay
people are
with either
saying
one of
Jean Grey,
these.
but do you see them introducing Jean Grey to Spider-Man film?
I don't really know what the comics say about that, but
I mean, she's like all
since we are,
X-Men.
I know, I know
Oh, no,
that, but
no, no,
like
I mean,
that's why I'm
I don't know.
That's
That'd be
why I'm
so
saying that,
weird.
like, I know that they're introducing a lot of X-Men into these franchises
Mhm.
to start building up the mutants and how X-Men and Marvel are really intertwined. Like, we know that Scarlet Witch is an X-Men, like, eventually later on in the comics and in the video games and everything. So I like that they're thinking about this, or at least fans are casting her like that. I said it to you that if she's not Spider-Man's new love interest, I don't
Mhm.
want it because
Yeah.
we do know that she, or in this movie in Spider-Man 4, that Tom Holland has possibly a new, like,
Right.
there's a rumor that he
That's
has a
been
new
it.
love
Yeah.
interest.
That's circulating heavy too
So
right now.
right, and if she were to be a Spider-Gwen, especially with her like how she played Max on Stranger Things and her like cool vibe attitude that she has and how we see
Mhm.
Spider-Gwen in Spider-Verse, I think that would fit really well too.
Yeah.
So I would like to see her as Spider-Gwen.
I'd be good with that. I think she would pull that off really well. I think she's a
Hmm.
great actress. So that
Yeah.
or like I'd be cool with that or like a Felicia Hardy or something. So
Felicia Hardy
Black
is
Cat.
Black Cat. Okay.
And
Okay, okay,
also,
okay.
kind of back and forth love interest with Peter Parker in comics and cartoons stuff. So yeah, but also next on the list. So we've been seeing on these trailers very little slight glimpse of Century, and we finally can see a full picture of Century now. Maybe not quite how we expect, but we see the Funko Pop of him. Finally, these Funko Pops I think are almost where you can order them, or you can order them. They just released where you can order them now. But we
Okay.
get a full vision of Century. There's a Funko. It's pretty much, we've gotten enough pieces. We kind of know what he's going to look like, but we've never got that full blown right on look. But
Yeah.
I definitely want these Funkos to add to my collection of the whole Thunderbolts. I swear,
Yeah.
like when these Funkos first came out, I was like, I think these things are silly. I'm never going to collect these. And now here I am collecting these. I don't know why I thought they were silly. I guess they were different. And just at like when they first debuted, I'm like, nah, I don't like this. And now I love them. And it's like one of the most autographed things you take to a con, for a celeb to autograph. So,
Yeah. So I know that like with the Funko Pops, you're not supposed to take them out of their packaging or whatever,
mhm.
and you're supposed to have the autograph like on the outside. I want a celebrity to actually autograph the actual Funko Pop, take it out, and be
Like
able
do
to
the
display
face.
that.
That'd be like the
Or
only area.
like the head or
Yeah,
like the body like long ways. I don't know. Depends on how big the signature is, depends on what kind of markers they have. I think it just kind of depends on what it would be, or maybe on their back. Um, but I don't know. Like I think that would be really cool. Because I want to start putting Funko Pops in my work, like
okay.
because I have a whole desk at work,
Hmm.
and the only thing that I have at work right now, I thought I was surrounded by metal. Apparently, it's all wood. So I got a magnet, and thankfully I had like a little drawer that's magnetic. Uh, so I threw there was a Lilo and Stitch, like, you know how they have like dirty and clean signs for your dishwasher?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a Lilo and Stitch, like, one side is him like licking the glass, and the other side is like all sparkly clean. So I have that magnet that I just like threw up on my desk. But I want to decorate my desk more nerdy, so I would really like these like Funko Pops
Yeah.
there. But
You
that's
need to
why I'm like
stack
thinking
them.
I want to. No, because I
Or
want to take them out of their package.
oh, okay, okay.
I'm the type of girl that takes things out of their package. Don't recognize
Hey,
this as
I'm here. I mean, I'll take them out of the package too.
right. So I'm the type of person that wants to take them out of their package, kind of like angle them in like because you can angle them in all sorts of different types of ways, like
Right.
when people battle each other, like the different groups that people battle, and then how like you can like dress them in areas somewhat different. And I get toys or things like that to play with to really enjoy. Not this one because it's plushy and it can't stand by itself because that's the only reason why
That
it's
makes
still
sense.
in the package. Um, but yeah, everything else like I usually take out of its package. And I know that's like a big no-no in the nerd world, and I'm sorry, and I know a lot of people are like cringing, but I have a Crash Bandicoot that I have.
Okay,
It's a Funko Pop, and his nose is a little broken because I got him at like a yard sale or something. But
that's great.
um, I loved it. I'm so happy that I have a Crash Bandicoot Funko Pop because I never seen one up until that point.
Heck yeah, I've never seen one. Like, I literally have never seen one. Huh. That's
Yeah,
wild. I want how old is that, do you know? Did you ever look up, like, the model, like, when they released? Huh. I'd
no,
be interested in seeing that. Um, speaking of Russo brothers, they're, like, super talkative now. I swear to God, like, every other day, there's some new something they're dropping on information. But, a
we're not
couple weeks.
complaining.
Right, yeah, yeah, not complaining whatsoever. But, a couple weeks ago, we showed some concept art that apparently leaked, and left and right was just being taken down off the internet as soon as it could pop up. And the Russo brothers have responded to that, and they supposedly say that that actually concept art has nothing to do with them. And not only does it have nothing to do with them, but it actually has nothing to do with anything from a Doomsday or Secret Wars project. They're like
Hmm.
that has nothing tied to us or these two movies at all. Ever. So, but then
Yeah.
that's kind of all that I think that was said. Like there's literally, well, where did these come from then? Where did these inspiration of concept come? Especially
The comics.
yeah, yeah. Well, it has Doom in it. I don't know. I guess anybody can come up any good artist come up with concept art and make it look like,
Yeah.
something from the studio, but I don't know. I still think it was something. Why would they be taking it down so many places?
I okay, so if you want to think of like why they would take things down, you know when you see news that you're really excited for and you go and you research it and then
Mhm,
it doesn't fucking exist anywhere, like World
mhm.
War Hulk. Like how many times have we talked about World War Hulk where we see something in the news and we think it's real and we go and we look at it and it's not real and we see all these like concept art
Yeah,
and then we go. So maybe they're just taking down the concept art because they don't want people to see it and think that this is what they're getting and it's not really something that they're getting and to get their hypes up about this one thing.
sure. Yeah,
So I don't know, there's two sides to every argument. Maybe
sure.
it really doesn't have anything to do with it, maybe it does have something to do with something and they're just like we can't let people know about that yet because maybe that's the ending or what we're building up to kind of thing. I don't know.
Another thing they spoke on was that they said, we really loved how we, with Infinity War and Endgame, we were part of, a ending chapter of a saga, in the MCU. To be a part of that was huge, and so Doomsday and Secret Wars, you would think is kind of the ending of the multiverse saga that we're in, and then
Yeah.
the mutant saga would be starting after that, roughly. That's what's
Mhm.
talked about, and they
Yeah.
actually said, but now we love that we are part of a brand new beginning of a story for where the MCU is going. And so I'm like, crap, like this is insane. It just keeps your wheels turning, wondering like what is going to happen in Doomsday and Secret Wars. Because like if it's what we would think would be the end of a saga, but they're describing it as the great beginning of something huge and
Mhm.
new. I don't know.
Because we had talked about that before, where we thought that like the phase, like this was going to be the end of this phase, and then they're going to start with a phase zero. And then
Hmm.
they said that we had built up all of this, so why would we just end
Right.
it to start
Right.
something new? So this kind of goes along with that, and saying that like it's just a continuous, continuing type thing.
Mm,
So I really like that they're continuing, and I do wonder what they are going to start doing. Does that mean that they would bring back theoretically like old characters like James Marsden as Cyclops continuing here forward? Would he be the new Professor X because he was Cyclops, he was the leader, but now he's so old that he would be the new I
mm.
don't know. It makes
There's
my brain
so
kind of
many
go like
things.
that.
Yeah.
Right? Right?
I mean,
Like,
the
dude,
opportunity
dude,
the
can
ideas are
you imagine?
endless.
Can you imagine James Marsden as Professor X?
No, I don't wanna imagine that.
Not him being bald. I don't think that they would
Right.
make him bald because even
As
Professor X
Professor
for
X
a
or as
while
just the leader of the X-Men?
as like the leader, the new Professor X, if you will, like
Okay,
because we
gotcha,
have
gotcha.
the Professor X and who he was, but he would be the new leader, the man in the chair,
Right. Sure, sure, sure. I guess I see what
like
you're saying,
Ned,
yeah.
you know.
The one running the school and over the team
Yeah,
and tell yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I think that would be really neat.
There's
I
so many
I would
things.
love to see that. I don't think it's gonna happen, but
Yeah.
I would love to see it.
I've never even thought about that. Like now, you got my wheels spinning in a complete different direction than what I even had going. Like, hmm. I don't know.
Well, look, this is how my brain works. It never stops, and the endless amounts of information, of thoughts and theories and hopes and desires just continues on and on and on. So,
Another statement that they made the other day was they said, because like it's kind of a 50-50 thing with RDJ coming as Doom, and they said literally the way we are telling the story of Doom, nobody could play this but RDJ. And
yeah, I
so I'm
love.
like, they are so like
So,
into embodying him and where the
yeah,
story's gonna go with Doom. And it's just like, and they go on and on about like it's radical, it's wild.
yeah.
And so I'm so ready to figure out what this is as well.
Well, did you see the thing where RDJ had said that he was already open to coming back and he was just waiting for the Russo Bros to give
Yep.
him the right part?
Mm-hmm.
And for him to like be such a big part of Doctor Doom, I think even puts the cherry on top of that sundae, if you will, the banana split, because he's a half Iron Man, half
Right, right.
Doctor Doom, so it's a banana split. But um, God, I can't wait, to see
I,
Doctor Doom on screen.
I'm so ready for Doomsday. Oh, I'm ready to see
The
Doctor Doom on screen with this, and hopefully in July at the end credit scene.
Yeah,
But like, my
yeah.
God, I'm so ready for Doomsday.
I so okay, so real quick, real tangent, real quick, right?
Yeah, yeah.
At Islands of Adventure in Orlando. So you have Universal Studios and Islands of Adventure in Orlando. And in Islands of Adventure they have a whole Marvel area and there is this one ride that's called the Doctor Doom Fearfall.
Oh,
So like
I didn't know that.
I want to see them update that
Yeah,
with Doctor Doom, like RDJ's voice. I think that would be
that would be sick.
amazing. And so, because it's already like you sit there, you all sit in like the circle, like with the tower, right?
Hmm.
And you're all sitting there and you're just waiting, and then Doctor Doom starts saying something, and then it shoots you up. Like it's not a slow rise; it just
Really?
shoots you up.
Okay.
Oh,
I've never
such
heard
a
of
good
this.
ride! Such a good ride. So I want them to still use that ride, but modernize it. Because now, if we have a new
Yeah.
Doctor Doom, God, it would be so cool. It would just be so cool. The inner nerd of me and the inner like thrill seeker,
Mhm.
adrenaline junkie, who can't really ride roller coasters anymore because I get nauseous for everything, unfortunately. But I'll take like Dramamine and then I'll still go because
Oh, you're
I
a
can't
trooper
not.
then.
Oh yeah, no, I know what I am, and I'm reckless is what it is. But like the drops, those drop rides
Mhm.
still float my boat. Don't get nauseous for them. And I really do remember it, like, cause like there's like parts where for the line, right? And you like wait and walk through whatever, and you see like the lab and like the different like pieces of armor and stuff. Um,
That's really
yeah,
cool. I'm about to like look
yeah.
up some videos on YouTube of this. Like I so want to see this. So like Avengers Campus is pretty sick, and like I love that you talk about the drop rides, the Guardians of the Galaxy drop ride, which is a complete story with Rocket and Groot. Oh my God,
Hmm.
like it's so
So
fun.
you know that took over the
Tower
Twilight
of Terror.
Zone Tower of Terror, and they still
Yeah.
have Tower of Terror at MGM. Or is it called MGM Studios? I think so. MGM Studios in one of the four Disney parks
Hmm.
there. So yeah.
And
Uh,
yeah, and I can
what?
see them like updating it with Robert Downey Jr. because they have that Spider-Man ride now, and you have Tom Holland a part of that. He comes on screen and
Oh,
talks. They could even do something like that with RDJ.
yeah, because they did have a Spider-Man ride where you're in the Daily uh, Beagle vehicle riding through, and you have um, Green Goblin that comes and flies in, and you have Doc
Oh,
Ock
where
on
at?
the screen.
Where's
That's
this?
also Universal Studios or
My
Islands of
God,
Adventure.
I need to
I'm
go.
telling you, oh God, damn it, it's so good. You have the Hulk roller coaster that's there that shoots you out of a tunnel, and oh man, they have the
Huh?
Storm teacup ride where you hear her say like the power of the forces or whatever, and you're like fucking
Really?
spinning.
My
Oh
God.
God, it's such a great island. It's a little like area, and then you have Dr. Seuss land, and you have like your own little lands everywhere.
Hmm.
Um,
Huh.
Yeah, no. All right, that's it. We need
I've
to
been
go
missing
to
out on a
Islands
life.
of Adventure.
Yes.
God damn it, it's so good. I can't believe you've never been. Okay. Yeah.
What's
Sorry.
wild is, like, some of the places I have been, and then there's places like that you'd be like, "Why?" Like, I'm like, "Why haven't I been there?" Like, it makes
Mm.
0 sense, but, yeah,
Well,
I'm
it's all the way
putting
in
this at the
Florida.
top of the list. Well, I mean, I have cousins that live in Florida. I go visit and stuff, so, uh,
There you go.
I don't know. Yeah, it's going on the list. So you have, some ScarJo news, don't you?
Yes. So, Scarlett Johansson, she's doing her Jurassic World rebirth. Like they're taking photos and stuff, and she's kind of like declining to be in it. And she's saying that the reason is because like a lot of people are looking forward to her being Black Widow, and she's kind of just reiterating that Black Widow is dead. Like, and that's how she wants to continue to see it. She's done with that character, I guess, is like what she's trying to say. But, we do have Doomsday and Secret Wars coming up. So,
Mhm.
like, do we think that she's just really not going to come back for any of that? Do you think that like she is still upset about how the Black Widow movie did and because of it being during COVID and that they
Right.
just released it on Disney Plus and she didn't really get any royalties from it? Like,
Yeah,
I
I
don't
don't know.
know.
And, like, part of that statement, I think I read, she's like, "I had my hero moment." She sacrificed herself to, have her hero moment. She's like, "Just let her be the hero," and that's another
Yeah.
reason why she needs to stay dead. Because I guess if she comes back, then it takes away from the weight of the sacrifice.
Yeah. I mean, but we also do know that the multiverse is a thing, so there has to be a Black Widow out there that lost Hawkeye, right?
It's possible. I
I
mean,
mean,
the
anything's possible, but
anything's possible in any of those universes. Because yeah.
right. But I don't know, man. Like I would like her to come back as like a cameo, maybe not as a Black Widow, maybe just
Mhm.
as like she never went and did the Russian school and became a Black Widow. I want to see ScarJo as like a barista, like because I think that would be hilarious. Like, can
I
you
would love to
imagine
see her
her
on screen one more
personality?
time, like you
Yeah,
said, Secret Wars or something. Uh,
yeah, yeah, but I think that it would be even funnier and great, just kind of like how we saw Chris Evans in Deadpool and Wolverine, but not as Captain America, but as
complete opposites.
Flame On
Yeah, yeah.
Boy. Yeah, Johnny Storm. So I think that if we got to see ScarJo again, but she's not
A
a
barista's
Black
hilarious.
Widow, right? Like, I don't know. That's the first job that like went into my head that I thought it would be hilarious if I saw her as, because
Definitely complete
it,
opposite of an assassin.
right, exactly. Just like, well, I mean, but she would still kind of have those skills, like the fastness of like making coffee, and you know how
Right.
like Starbucks gets, and Starbucks
Yeah.
has been in a lot of Marvel movies where they have kind of been the promoter. So if she's just a person at Starbucks, that's the barista,
And what's funny is,
dude.
like, they have, like, make them even though I don't think they typically have it, but just for this scene, like, have an employee of the month wall, and it's, like, her every single month.
See? See? And then you have one that's like Scott Lang, and then you have her for the
Yeah.
rest of it. Like, dude,
Oh,
that would be
man.
amazing.
That would be.
Oh, God. That made me laugh a lot.
They need to bring us on to help some write some of this, especially with Secret Wars. Um,
I don't know if they want it though. My ideas are way too fucking off the wall. But are you ready to
they
just
may
talk about?
bring us on
No,
for
go
more
for it.
what if stuff than Secret Wars, probably. You're like, "That's pretty wild. Let's do that over here." Uh,
Animated, so it doesn't cost too much.
yeah. You ready to hop into some DC, though?
Yeah, let's go.
So, our DC news is a little different today. Topics. So, State Farm has a DC commercial they did that people are just
Yeah,
raving about. It's Bateman versus Batman, and I love me some Jason Bateman. Like
yeah.
this guy's hilarious. But you kind of get him as like a knockoff Batman, and you do actually have a Batman show up in this, and their Batman
Hmm.
looks pretty good.
Yeah.
But what people are going about the Batman, but it's mainly the villains, and of all the villains, the Joker, and people are like, "Oh my god!" They're like, State Farm puts together a Batman or not trailer, but commercial. And
Mhm.
why does this Joker look like the best Joker we've seen on screen since Heath Ledger?
Right. So everybody's kind of saying that this Joker really does resemble Jack Nicholson, which was like kind of like our original Joker of
Yeah,
getting back into
I
how it
love
was
him.
before we had the animated ones and stuff. Um, God damn, his eyebrows and his like the smile and the guy that ended up playing him, his name is like Josh Harper or something. And
Hmm.
if you look at his IMDb page, he is like super into makeup, and I love that they kind of got some like random off the wall people to play characters. But I love this Joker. The Two Face looked really cool too.
Yeah,
With
and it.
no, go for it. What'd you say?
I was gonna say that we got like a super comic accurate Riddler too.
Yeah, right. And then he said, "Riddle me this," and he's just like, "What is love? What is dawn? What is dusk?" And he's just like, "You don't have to ask the question. Why?" And you see like the Riddler like having the like with Bateman, just like, "Why are you doing what you're doing?" And he's like, "You don't have to do that." And you did get poison ivy in it, which was really funny because Bateman's lips were all like inflamed because poison ivy like inflames your
It's
skin. I
hilarious.
thought that was great. And then that's another scene where you see Batman being like, "Bateman, what the fuck, man?" And just like grab like somebody and like go up. That was really funny. But the one that really caught my eye was Catwoman.
Mm,
And I was like watching the scenes that she was in, and of course this is only like a like, not even 5 minute, it's like 3 minute like little
yeah.
uh commercial or whatever. But it was so great. But seeing it was SZA that was playing Catwoman, and she was like doing the thing with her nail and opening up like um the the
Jewelry.
jewelry case. Yeah,
Yeah.
and like her standing up and talking. I mean, like she looked amazing
Hmm.
as Catwoman. And we have like this photo with her like petting like the cat, and like, oh god, she looked really good. And I was really happy with how they portrayed her. And I wasn't expecting somebody else other than Jason Bateman, to be in
Yeah.
this trailer. And then you got SZA, who is on top of the world right now with Kendrick.
And
Um,
and then at the beginning, you have Kai Cenat, who's a big YouTuber that people love watching, and they just randomly threw him in there filming. He's like, "Is that the Joker?"
and then we didn't see the Joker until like the end,
Well,
and
the
I think it
Joker
was
walks
even
right by him when he films it. It says that.
oh. See, I didn't even really realize that because I didn't really recognize that it was the Joker until we got to see him in the holding cell with all like the
Oh
villains
yeah.
or whatever behind him, and Bateman talking to Joker, and and Joker was like being his like, "Do you want to do it?" Like it's just like, let's fuck around and find out kind of thing. And Bateman here was just like, "I don't think you're no, you're the Joker though, right? Hey, how you doing?" Like it was just um and it was really funny because there is one part in this commercial where Batman like points his finger at Bateman and was just like, "Go home. Go do a podcast or something." And I was just like, "Oh, come on." As we're sitting here doing a podcast talking about it. I thought it was hilarious.
No, it's great. I was really shocked. Like they put a lot of threw some money into it. They threw some big, not just on the names that they brought in there, but I mean the special effects and I mean everything. I was like, okay, State Farm, like
Yeah.
you really stepping your game up. What's
And
bad? It
State
was
Farm was like, "Why would you get a Bateman when you can have a Batman?" And I was like, "Dude."
Jason Bateman's hilarious. I love that guy.
Yeah.
Uh, but James Gunn also released, I think it was on X, possibly, a
Yeah.
picture of the engineer. I think it's like an anniversary in the comics or something like that of the engineer. Here we are, right here. That's that stadium scene where we see him fighting, Superman
Mhm.
fight. And yeah, the engineer is someone who has like their body is liquid metal, like a nanotechnology, and they can form
Okay.
any kind of weapon out of their body. So yeah, I think that in the comics, it was originally a guy, and
Yeah.
he got killed, and his successor is this woman Angela. So yeah, like we were talking before the podcast, it's funny you mentioned you're like oh, it makes me think of Terminator, with the guy, and like that's immediately like when I was reading on this, I was
Yeah,
like,
the
that's it.
T100 or whatever it was
Yeah,
called. That
that's
guy, yeah.
literally what popped in my head. I was like, hopefully the CGI be a little better though. But
I mean, shit, dude, for it being an 80s movie or
oh yeah,
that the
at that time
Terminator
it was
came out,
badass.
oh,
Yeah.
God, it's still badass. Are you kidding me? You haven't really seen anything quite like that. But that was like like the metal transitioning into whatever he wanted it to be, like a gun or like his face or whatever. That played the cop, and then I guess like kind of like a similar thing is
hmm
like Mr. Anderson in The Matrix, but
Yep.
he didn't
Yep.
have it with like metal. It was just he could morph into like
Yeah.
different things.
Mr.
God.
Anderson. Well, I guess he
Yeah.
said he says that, but oh shoot, trying to think, what's his name? Lord of the Rings. He's an elf.
Yeah, and he
Elrond.
was
He
also
plays
Red
Elrond.
Skull.
Yes. Oh, I'm drawing a blank right now.
Oh, both of us are. God damn it. All right. Well, to Google.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Okay. God damn it. Uh, of the. Hold on. Let me just put Mr. Anderson.
Hugo Weaving.
Yes. Yes.
He's a great actor
God
too.
damn. Yeah. No, he's great, and he did a really great Red Skull before Ross Marquand did.
Right. What's wild is Ross Marquand does such a good, like, he's a great actor, but his voices that he can impersonate is so great. I did not
Hmm.
know when I first watched Infinity War, I did not know that was Ross Marquand, and I still thought it was Hugo Weaving because he sounds just like him.
Hmm.
Uh, and when obviously, with the makeup, there's definitely no way to tell, but
Yeah.
yeah. But kind of wraps us up for DC. Let's jump into some educated wish.
Let's go.
So I'm curious, how excited are you getting with these pictures that keep just dropping, photo sets of Odyssey?
Dude, so great. I am like jonesing for more and more photos, and I need a trailer. I need a teaser trailer. I need an actual trailer. I need more photos. I need clips. I need everything because a year is way too long. July 17th of 2026 is way too long for me to wait.
That's a long time, it really is.
It's so long. It's so long from now. And we have so many name actors in this, and we have this brilliant story, and we have Christopher Nolan himself, like,
Yeah,
doing this movie. I think this is going to be a movie that we are going to absolutely love. And
talk about
I
forever
know
probably.
I know that I'm definitely going to go see it in theaters. Um, like I saw Oppenheimer in theaters, and that was a
Mhm.
beautiful movie, very well done. And I think Odyssey is gonna somehow top that. I don't even know who they're gonna have do the score yet, but it's gonna
Mhm.
be a beautiful score because you're gonna have to have like the fighting scenes, and you're gonna have the ocean scenes, and you're gonna have the different island scenes where he's talking to the sirens and he's fighting the Cyclops, and oh my
Speak
God.
Speaking of ocean scenes, let's take a look at this picture. I thought this was really cool to see them actually on this ship out in the
Yeah,
water filming this. Like I was like, okay, okay. Like I mean,
yeah.
there's some realness to this.
Hmm.
It really goes to show like how much this is going to seem real and not be so heavily CGI. Like
Yeah.
where a lot of people was like, oh, this is pretty sick. And then we have another picture here of Tom Holland and John Bernthal. I guess like taking a break, on set and meeting
Yeah.
people and stuff. What's
Yeah.
wild, and I didn't know about this. My uncle was talking about it the other day, and there was a movie that came out in 2017 called The Pilgrimage, and John Bernthal and Tom Holland are both in that, and it's the same like rough. I could be a little off, but like they're dressed the same time era type. It's very similar like that.
Okay.
And
Okay.
I've never seen that movie. I've never heard of it. And
Yeah.
it's literally both of them and dressed kind of like very similar to how we just seen in that picture. And I'm gonna have to check this
Okay.
movie out. It's called The Pilgrimage.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're this like the armor that they're wearing there is a lot like kind of how we saw Matt Damon with Odysseus's armor that he
hmm
was wearing. So it's very much after the battle happens that they're like on their journey home. Um, and I think that's when we're gonna get like Tom Holland and John Berthol in it. But I can't wait. I love the realness of what you would think that they would be wearing because I mean, the Odyssey is just a book. It's
Mhm.
Homer's Odyssey. And it's very beautifully written. It's kind of like in the Old English. They've had different iterations. Um, where they like modernized it, if you will. But I can't wait to see more photos and more everything because we got to see like it or not, we saw Troy with
Mhm. Brad Pitt.
what's his name, Orlando Bloom and Brad
Oh,
Pitt.
yeah.
Yes, we went totally two different
And
directions.
Eric Bana.
Yes, and the girl that whose name I've completely forgotten, but
I
she.
forgot the female that's in it.
Yeah, there's two that are really popular, but the Paris's love interest, who's Helen, I
Mhm.
forgot what her name is, but she's blonde and popular. And then
Helen of Troy
Eric,
is played by Diane Kruger.
see, yeah, her. And then um Eric Bana's wife, whose name I cannot remember, but in the actual
Uh,
movie itself,
is it
but she's got
Breesius?
brown and like super curly hair. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't
There's a
know.
Breesius played by Rose Byrne. She's looks like one of the top females in it, leading
I
female
don't
roles.
remember. I don't know. Like names are hard for me. I'm a faces person, so
Right. It's been a
I
minute
can't
since I've
even
seen this movie.
I can't even remember what her face looked like. But as to like some people didn't like that movie, some people did like that movie, but that movie is kind of like the lead up to Odyssey, where you have the Trojan War happening, you have the Trojan horse that goes into the unbreakable or the city that can't be broken, Troy.
So
Um,
these stories are connected?
yeah,
I did not know this.
like Troy happened right before like the Odyssey happened.
Okay.
So the
Yeah.
Odyssey is them getting back to their homeland
Mhm.
after their victory.
I did not know this. Huh. I'm even more pumped. Like I've already been pumped from like how excited you get, the things you've told me about it, then just phenomenal cast and Nolan doing it. But like, uh, wow, yeah, I'm even like more excited. Like I love stories like that too. Huh.
Yeah,
Wow. And
yeah.
also they just announced Ryan Hurst is added to the cast, which he's known as Opie from Sons of Anarchy.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah,
okay.
big, tall, bearded, long hair guy, and he was oh shoot, I'm not even gonna try to think of it.
That's
Anyways,
Hellboy, right?
no,
No.
no. Ryan Hurst was Opie from Sons
All
of
right. To
Anarchy, but
Google.
then yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm actually pulling him up right now. I'm gonna tell you everything he's been in. He's been in some other stuff, and I'm drawing a
Opie's.
blank. Uh,
Oh,
he
no,
was in
that's not
remember
who I was thinking of.
he was in The Walking Dead. He was one of the he wasn't a walker, but oh, it's the ones that wore the walker skin. He was one of those bad guys. Remember the Titans he was in? He was young then.
Oh, that was years ago that I
Yeah.
saw that.
He was young. I think he was on the football team and Remember the Titans as a high
Mm,
schooler. But
okay.
I'm sitting here trying to think. I'm trying to see. There was a Outsiders. It's like as a show went I think for 2 years. I can't remember what channel it was on, but it was like it's just pretty much a story about these wild, like I could be wrong about Appalachian, but it's like Appalachian mountain people that just
Huh.
like live life, in the bare necessities, and they're like running drugs, and then they get I don't know, it's wild, like it is wild,
I don't
and
know. When you said Outsiders, I thought of The Outsiders with Stay Golden, Pony
oh
Boy,
yeah.
with Ralph Macchio.
Yeah. The funny thing is,
That's where my brain went.
when I hear State Golden Pony Boy, I think of Step Brothers. Catherine Hahn.
I don't think I've actually ever seen Step Brothers. I'm gonna be honest with that one.
Oh my god. Okay, so
I know. I
I'm
know.
not a huge Will Ferrell fan. He's very hit and miss for me, but that's
Mm.
probably one of his best. Him and John C. Reilly is one of their best movies ever. And Catherine Hahn is hilarious all through it. You have Adam
Oh,
Scott
yeah.
from Severance who's all through it. He plays a brother.
Okay.
Like the cast is insane.
No,
Like the whole
Adam
cast is
Scott
wild.
is always Parks and Rec for me. And
Yeah,
now he was
yeah.
also in The Monkey at the beginning.
Oh,
That was
really?
insane. Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
you said that. Yeah, I
Mhm.
forgot you did say that was it last week?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, I don't know.
But
Oh, we're
but other
getting on a tangent.
sorry.
No,
I'm
no,
sorry.
I don't mind. I was getting excited, so, um
But other news is we got a trailer for Freakier Friday finally, and
Yes.
I'm really happy about this. I've been
I
excited
It was
about it
good.
because I grew up with Freaky Friday. I've watched that a lot of different times.
Mhm,
I was a big Lindsay Lohan fan when I was a kid, and then she went through her growing up, getting older phase as like most celebrities do when they're childhood actors.
mhm.
Um, Turned to like some not so great things. Went to rehab, got it all figured out, and now she's back and doing Netflix movies and doing Freakier Friday,
Oh,
and I'm so happy that she's back and doing things. In this um, in this movie, you get to see her, Jamie Lee Curtis. You find out that Lindsay Lohan is a mom with like a daughter, and
mhm.
like their friend is there, who I'm pretty sure is the girl. No, I don't know. Who's the daughter's friend? I can't like her face looks super familiar.
On Freakier Friday?
Um, yeah,
I don't know,
freakier.
but it looks great. Like, I'll see it. I don't know if I'll go to theater to see it. If I do, it'll be like a $5 Tuesday, but I'll definitely watch it once it streams. Uh,
Okay.
I enjoyed the first one. Like, we were, I was young when it came out, and I remember it's hilarious. I love Jamie Lee Curtis too. Like,
Oh yeah, she's hilarious. She's a hoot. And then they were like her daughter told her like I'll let you know when to make like your grand sexy entrance, and then you have Lindsay Lohan like walking out of the store like what do you mean grand sexy entrance? And then you have Chad Michael Murray pull up on a fucking motorcycle, take off his helmet with his gleaming blonde hair, and she's like, "Oh, that's what you mean." That was hilarious. I absolutely love that part already. Um, I don't I don't know. So August, I should. Hmm, I'll be in Lake Tahoe at that point, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to go to the theaters at that point. So it might
mm.
be a streaming thing for me
I
as
bet it
well.
will. I bet it will go to streaming fairly quickly. Like, a lot of movies that are, and I'm not meaning that in, like, any negative stance whatsoever, but a lot of
Yeah,
movies that are kind of sequels that are on that, like that level of tier,
yeah.
they'll keep them in theaters for a while, but they also will go to
Mm,
streaming way quicker than a lot of others. And this one has a little bit of a different take too than the original Freaky Friday.
yeah,
It's all 3, is it 3 of them that swap, like, change? 4, you're right.
because the daughter
That's
or the
right.
daughter and her friend are like all four of them because her daughter's friend is the one that goes into Jamie Lee Curtis's body, and then in the trailer you get to see like her go up to the mirror and say, "Oh,
Oh,
my
yes.
face looks like a Birkin bag left out in the sun." Like
Yeah.
I was like, yeah,
Yeah, straight. You know,
straight
they had to
heat.
have so much fun filming that movie.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And then I mean, like it's a Disney film, so it's going to be on Disney Plus.
Oh,
Um,
yeah, duh.
yeah, so whenever it does get released, obviously we'll be able to watch it. So
Yeah.
I'm excited to see it because if I can go to theaters to watch it just to like support Lindsay Lohan and Jamie Lee Curtis, I definitely will.
It's true, I didn't think about
Um,
that because, like you were saying, she's been in a lot of stuff on Netflix lately, but this is probably her first, since she's came back, her first theatrical debut. So, you
yeah.
saying that, I think that's actually, I think I will go theater to see it, actually.
If
But
I have
you
time to
made a
go
good
see it,
point.
I really want to. Like, um, I mean, like I know that I'm really looking forward to seeing it, and if it's a movie that I'm looking that much forward to seeing, then I'm definitely going to try to go see it in
Yeah,
theaters. Um, so this is one of them that is like a childhood like
right.
homage for me. So I know that it's going to be a great time. I'm probably going to be in creators in creators in theaters crying is what I'm trying to say. Creators is the crying in theaters together.
Creators.
All right, there we go.
We
um,
literally like after probably a couple of years, we could probably come up with our own dictionary for
Oh my
fundamentals.
god. I think we need to start, like, writing things. We're not going to. Let's be
Yeah,
honest, we're not gonna write things down. We barely remember to write things down now. So,
yeah. Speaking of things we're excited coming out, that's finally confirmed.
yes!
Ted Lasso season 4 confirmed by none other than Jason Sudeikis,
Let's
and
fucking go!
he actually confirmed it on a podcast of Jason and Travis Kelsey, The Heights, and they kind of asked him, while they're talking, they're like, "So what's going on? Is this?" And he's like, I think I can go ahead and mention it. Yeah, we're doing it. We're doing season 4. And then they just started, asking him a whole bunch of questions, like rambling on because they got so excited. And he's like, nah, he's like, that's where I gotta stop. He's like, I can't really answer nothing else. But
Damn it!
I think I can go ahead and mention it's official.
Alright, well, I'm at least happy that it's official that he's actually in it, because we didn't
Yeah.
get news yet that he has been confirmed, but we know, some of the people that are, in it already, like Roy
Hmm.
Kent and Keely Jones, and, the kid that started coaching with them in the last episode of, like, the last
Oh,
season. Uh,
wow.
the Indian kid.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah,
God
yeah.
damn it, what's his
The,
name?
the Wonder Kid.
The Wonderkind. Yes. God damn it, I can't remember who he is in the
Hey,
show.
I'm about to tell you right now. It's
I'm so upset.
Nathan Shelley.
Nathan! Good old Nate. Shelley,
Yeah,
yes.
played by Nick
Coach
Mohammed.
Shelley.
But yeah.
God damn.
Google is our friend today.
It really is.
I'm
But
ready to see
yeah,
Hannah Waddingham back on screen too. I don't know what it is about her, but like,
Hannah Waddingham. Who?
yeah,
Rebecca?
Rebecca, yeah, like,
Okay. Well, did you see that Rebecca has actually come out, like, because she's starting to do her, like, singing thing, because she's, like, super into theater
mhm,
apparently.
yeah,
She came out with a cruise line has done a trailer, and she's the main person in the trailer, and she's
okay,
singing The Love Boat.
okay, wow. Something about her is just super unique and different. And like when
Mm.
she got like when into Lasso, and then like I've seen like interviews and stuff. Something just about that woman, like when she walks in a room, like her presence is very demanding. Like
She's
you can't ignore
tall,
her.
she
Yeah,
is classy, and then
very
even
classy.
though she is tall, she wears heels on top of that. So
Yeah,
she
yeah,
is, like, tall. She's, like, over 6 foot from what I remember.
wow,
Um,
okay.
yeah, and she still wears heels, and I love
Yeah.
that for her. I love her
I do.
confidence, and
I love her whole character. Like, when I first
yeah.
started watching Ted Lasso, I was like, "I don't know how I'm gonna feel about this," and, like, I got into it, and, like, I don't know. Like, I love Jason Sudeikis, Ted Lasso, but, like,
Mm,
she's probably my number 2, honestly, and then Roy Kent.
I don't know. I love her Kent and
Yeah, I love Roy
Jamie.
Kent. I do not like Jamie. Does that I don't know why, but
I
I could
like his
never like
character
Jamie.
arc because he was a dickhead to begin with, and now he's just like, "Oh, I'm
Uh,
also now that old footballer." Um, and now he's starting to understand Roy Kent and why he acts the way that he does,
I
and
still didn't like him. I don't know why.
ah, I love a
Oh,
good
man.
character arc, and he has a good character arc.
He does have a good hey, I will give you that. He does have a good character arc. It's just I don't know. I think it's something about his face I just can't stand.
I just
Maybe it's his
saw
little notch in his eyebrow he keeps. I don't know. I don't know what it is.
Roy Kent was in a
Oh,
movie that
Thor:
I
Love and
just
Thunder.
saw.
Oh,
No,
he's
no, I don't know
Hercules
if it was a
in the
movie
MCU.
or I'm pretty sure it was a movie. It was about Oh, no, it's a TV show, Shrinking.
Okay.
Okay, Shrinking
With
on
Harrison
Apple
Ford?
TV. Yes,
Okay.
and Jason Segel.
Okay. I've been
Great
meaning to
show.
watch is it?
It's a great show.
Okay.
Roy Kent's in it.
Okay. That's gonna make me even jump on it even more then.
And and the fact that he was in it, like, so AD and I watched a lot of Ted Lasso. Like, we didn't know that Ted Lasso was a thing until I think right before the last season came out, and then we binge watched it because the roommates that I have right now, Andrew and Kristen, they actually introduced it to us um, during a trip that we all took together,
Mhm.
and so AD and I finally got into it, watched it. We're dying laughing because we were laughing when we were on the trip watching it with them. Um, and so we finally finished it, and now anytime we see Roy Kent, we immediately start singing Roy Kent. He's there. He's there. He's every fucking way. Roy Kent.
That's great. I was
But
shocked to see
yeah,
him as the MCU's Hercules, and I'm ready to see more of him as Hercules.
yeah,
Uh,
dude,
man,
yeah.
you want to rewatch Ted Lasso now, and
There's
I
nothing wrong
actually
with that.
I came in super late to it. I didn't start watching it until after all the seasons were already out.
Mm,
And I'm like,
yeah.
man, I was like so upset with myself after like I fell in love with it. I'm like, man, I've been sleeping on this for so long. It's not even cool. It's like I knew of it. I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
know. uh Next on our list though, The Conjuring 4. So to me, I love the Conjuring movies. Conjuring Last Rites. They say that this is the last one. This is going to conclude, the Conjuring movies and storytelling supposedly. But
Allegedly.
allegedly. But they say that there's going to be a scene in this one that is going to top and be as monumental and talked about as The Exorcist, that scene in Exorcist with the spider walk or whatever.
Hmm.
And they say that this one is going to have a monumental scene in it that people will talk about. It's going to just blow everybody's minds. And
Okay.
also, the last 30 minutes of this movie is going to be actually about the possession of Lorraine Warren and the possession.
Oh.
Yeah, and like, oh, I'm so excited about this. Like, I love the Conjuring movies. Something about the Conjuring movies. I don't know. I love horror,
Hmm.
but I'm not easily impressed with horror movies. I
Right.
tend to walk away from 90% of them kind of let down, to be honest with you. And something about the Conjuring movies, I don't know what it is. I just really love it. Like the cast, I love the way they tell the story, and it
Hmm.
just. I know it's a movie, and I know it's based on true events that happened with Ed and Lorraine Warren, but like something about it just feels very maybe it's the fact that it's based on true events and it happened real.
Yeah,
Am
and
I am
they
I
have
It's very
they have
realistic.
like pieces of the true events to show in the credits. Like they
Right.
have actual
Yeah.
footage. And I like that piece of it of like, you hear about like people on scary movie sets and how
Mhm.
weird shit happens.
Yeah.
But then to actually show what
Mhm.
they're doing, like and what they're replicating and representing, um, I think that's really cool, and it speaks to like the true life events itself. So
Mm.
you know, I do like um I do like The Conjuring. I don't remember the last one, I'm gonna be honest. I know that I've seen it, but I don't
Mhm. So
remember it off the top
I've
of my
seen
head.
it too, and that's the one actually I don't remember the most of. But the first one and the second one I remember very, very well.
Hmm.
And the first and the second one I absolutely love. Honestly, I may now have to go back and rewatch the third probably. Uh,
Yeah, I would probably rewatch all of them before this one comes
oh
out in
yeah.
September.
Mhm.
Um, just to kind of like gear up for it because I know that this is probably one of the ones that AD and I would see in theaters. Because we are also horror movie fans. Although Annabelle really kind of isn't in our tool house or wheelhouse, if you will. Uh,
What is it?
Annabelle,
Oh, yeah, yeah. Yes,
the doll that
that
they
was
had,
alright.
because that was a spin-off of,
Right, yeah, because
yeah.
yeah. Yep, no, because they actually Ed and Lorraine also have that doll, but yeah, it's a
Yeah.
Conjuring spinoff, just like The
Hmm.
Nun. I think The Nun was a Conjuring spinoff,
I
or
think I think so, yeah, because it was the photo or the
the
painting that they
painting,
had.
yeah,
Yeah,
and those are
yeah.
alright, but the Conjuring titled movies are some of my very top favorite horror movies at all to date.
Mhm. Yeah, and
Like,
then you have Insidious, which I think has gone on way too long.
yeah, it has, and that's actually got the same
So,
guy in it, don't it?
oh God, it's been
Oh,
a
he
while.
he played in Aquaman. Uh, is it Patrick something?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, I don't know if he's Insidious. Is he in Insidious?
He may not be. Patrick Wilson.
Yeah,
Is
I
Yeah,
completely forgot that.
he's Insidious too. He's the main
Oh my
guy.
God.
Yeah.
That guy is
He's a good
typecasted,
actor.
if anything.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But yeah, he also
because
played
even in
Aquaman's
Aquaman,
brother. Yeah.
dude, I completely forgot that he was in Aquaman until you said, because he has blonde hair
Yeah,
in
he looks
that.
more like Aquaman than Aquaman does.
Yes, very true, very true. But yeah, that was, oh man, that's so weird. That's so weird.
Hmm.
Um,
Uh,
yeah. God, I love scary movies.
yeah, I do too. I just hate that it's so hard, and just for my own personal taste, I hate that there's very few in between that you actually get a really good one. Uh,
Mm,
that I personally think that's a great movie. I wish we could get a lot more great horror movies. But speaking of movies that's out and I want to see, uh, Novocaine with Jack Quaid, and Jack Quaid is in everything at the moment. uh,
yeah.
but something that I want to mention is actually not even talking about the movie, but it's him promoting the movie at a basketball game. So here's a picture I have. I think this is only two. So he starts out this basketball game, and he slowly starts out of nowhere. Like he I think he had nothing, and then like he had the neck brace, and then like a little bit later he puts on a sling with the arm cast, and then at the very end, he's got like everything. He looks like he's just been beat up. He gradually gets worse and worse looking beat up, promoting his movie at this live
I
basketball game,
love
which I
that.
think is
Yeah.
hilarious. It's so great.
Oh yeah.
You know, and for him to be the son of the famous Meg Ryan and Dennis Quaid, he really has stood out and made the name for himself and not just
Hmm.
the kid of, two famous actors.
Yeah.
And I absolutely love him. Since ever since I watched The Boys, that's when I
Hmm.
started really liking him. And then he was just in I just watched A Companion. He was in that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I like that he's out there doing his own things. And
Hmm.
in oh, I was like watching like a reel or something, and like I had seen that he, like, what his actual name was, one, because I just knew him as the guy from The Boys, so I
Uh-huh.
didn't know what his actual like actor name
Huey.
was. Yeah, so I didn't know what his actual like actor name was, and then I found out that it was Jack Quaid, and I was just like, oh, okay, that's cool, and I didn't put two and two together that there's a
Yeah.
Dennis Quaid. And then I was watching a reel on Facebook that said like famous kids that you didn't know were famous or like had famous parents, and it showed him, and I was just like
Yeah.
mind blown. I was like, "Oh my
Yeah.
God, that's insane." Um I love that. I love that like, and now like you can see kind of like the resemblance in Dennis Quaid and Jack Quaid's
Oh yeah.
face, and
You really can.
um yeah, but like at first, like if you didn't know, you didn't know.
Yeah.
So I
No,
thought that was
well,
really
I'll be
cool.
honest with you. Like I've known for a while that was his son, but I did not know for some reason for the longest time that Meg Ryan and Dennis Quaid were together. So
Long time ago.
yeah, yeah, apparently. But we got a new Lilo and Stitch trailer,
Dude,
and it looks so good. Like
so good.
I'm so happy with the way this is looking. The
Mhm.
the acting, the cast, like there's nothing that I've seen yet that I have anything to complain about. Nothing.
Yeah. No. I was afraid at first when we
I
got to hear
was.
about it from D23, and I was just like, why are we making another live action movie? I don't know if we really need that. We had Mufasa, and we had Lion King, and we had
Mm,
Little Mermaid, and some of them didn't really turn out so great that like they have been majorly shit on. So
right.
do we really want a Lilo and Stitch movie? Because god damn it, I grew up with Lilo and Stitch, watched all of the Lilo and Stitch movies, watched the damn TV series that they
Yeah.
had. Like I was very into Lilo and Stitch. They had a Lilo and Stitch ride at Disney that has since shut down. But loved that ride. Uh, it was like kind of like a 4D type show. You sat in a seat
Okay.
and Stitch ran around and he broke out of the
The prison.
um yeah, and you got to hear him like rustling around in your ears because they had like
Ah,
the seats with the, yeah. Anyway, great. It was great, but now it's no longer there. But like I was terrified about it. And then this trailer finally came out and I was just like, this is beautiful. This is
yeah.
absolutely amazing. And then it has shots of Hawaii and it's so
Mm,
beautiful. And um, it was really reminiscent of like my honeymoon when I went to Hawaii, and I was just like, "Oh, look." And they even had like in the trailer, they had the guy, you remember the guy with the ice cream cone or the icy cone with like the red, white, and blue icy
yeah.
cone that he's like,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So they had him in the trailer, and his fucking thing, it just falls off, and I
Yep.
was just like,
And we
ah.
get to see Mr. Bubbles.
Yes, you got to see Mr. Bubbles, you got to see Pleakley and Jumba,
Mhm.
or
It
Jumba,
looks
Jumba,
so
yeah,
phenomenal. I
yeah.
seen a guy on, it was a TikTok the other day or Instagram, and he's like, "Listen," he's like, "Before this movie comes out, and even after this movie comes out, he's like, protect Lilo at all cost." He's like, all of them. He's like, "'Cause we know how these 2025 kids are going to be out here and how like they like to run their mouth. But us kids who grew up on Lilo and Stitch, it is our job to protect them in this movie in this cast."
Yeah. God, I can't like I hope that like it's not a shot for shot remake and you kind of already see that there are a little bit of differences.
Mhm.
Um but I really do want to see that like beginning opener scene where you see Lilo like swimming in the ocean and how she's telling Nani about how she can't feed tuna to tuna. It's the same fish. Oh God, I love that movie so
I do too.
much.
I'm so this is probably the most I've been pumped for a while for like a Disney movie. Like,
Mhm.
oh, Lilo and
A
Stitch
good
was just
live
one of those that
action
we just watched
movie.
over and over and over growing up.
Yeah.
And so many one-liners in that, to repeat as well.
Mhm. Yeah. God. Also a great one-liner movie. Yeah. God. God damn it. It's so
Yeah.
good.
I wanna watch Lilo and Stitch tonight now probably on
Yep.
Disney Plus.
Yep.
The
100% I'm
cartoon.
probably doing that. Yeah. Gonna have a
Uh,
beer and watch Lilo and Stitch because I'm an adult.
oh, man. Isn't it great? It's great.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful thing. So we got our Invincible finale of season 3, episode 8. I Thought You Would Never Shut Up was the title. This episode begins immediately after the events of the previous installment. Conquest, a formidable Viltrumite warrior voiced by Jeffrey D. Morgan, arrives on Earth to assess Mark Grayson's progress in conquering the planet for the Viltrum Empire. Disappointed by Mark's defiance, Conquest initiates a brutal confrontation. The ensuing battle between Mark, voiced by Stephen Yeun, and Conquest is intense and spans various locations, causing widespread destruction. Mark's younger brother, Oliver, attempts to assist but is severely injured. Adam Eve joins the fight, showcasing her immense power. Despite her valiant efforts, she is critically wounded, temporarily halting her intervention. Fueled by rage over the harm inflicted on his loved ones, Mark taps into a new level of strength. He engages Conquest, goes crazy on him. The battle concludes with Mark delivering a series of devastating blows, leaving Conquest incapacitated. Mark awakens in a hospital, recovering from his injuries. He shares a poignant moment with his mother, Debbie, who expresses guilt over his suffering. Mark reassures her, emphasizing that he does not blame her for the circumstances. The episode features a funeral for Rex Splode, honoring his sacrifice during their recent conflicts. Rudy, in tribute to Rex, decides to adopt his name. The world begins the process of rebuilding, with characters reflecting on the heavy toll of recent events. In a surprising twist, the post credit scene reveals Damien Darkblood, the demon detective, in conversation with Satan. They discuss a plan to bring Mark Grayson to hell, setting the stage for new challenges in the upcoming season.
So there's gonna be another season, is what I'm hearing.
Oh, yeah. I want to get into reading these comics because, like, the
I
people
don't
who
think
read
that they come out like that though. Like they're still they.
they've
Well, I
already,
mean, like it came out.
yeah, they've the story in the comics has already been told.
Yeah.
So I want to read Kirkman's comics just for a simple fact, like where this kind of ended off. I really don't want to wait
Mm.
till the next season comes out, so I want to read and find out what happens. But
You're just
man,
impatient.
I'm very impatient. Uh, this season was really good. Like it was
Mm.
way to me. 2 wasn't bad. I'm not saying it was bad, but this season was way more enjoyable than 2 to me. Like it
It
definitely
grabbed
kept
your
me wanting.
attention
Oh,
more.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, but man, the battle, I'm not gonna lie, I love Jeffrey D. Morgan, and but them going back and forth, I was like, my God, is this going to end? Because it was just like bam, back and forth, bam, back and forth, bam, back and forth. But then like we thought Eve died, and I mean he tore her up. I mean, like he punched her, like half her jaw's missing, and then he
Oh,
like
damn.
punched her torso, and she, like it's just yeah, and then she like evolves. She states that um while she was little, they like put tapped in her mind and put a halt on her powers so she can't like actually become her full self. But then when she's like under so much stress and pain, it kind of overrides. And then out of
Yeah.
nowhere, she like just became a beam of light and completely healed herself and then was like
Oh,
super
so it's like
powerful.
So it's like Jean Grey when she became the Phoenix.
Oh yeah, pretty much very similar. Very, very
Okay.
similar. Yep, kind of like how Professor X did with her mind. Yeah. It's it may be where a little bit of that inspiration came from. She's also a redhead.
She is also a redhead that can fly.
uh, but yeah, it was so good. If you haven't been like watching season 3,
Yeah.
it's definitely worth watching for sure.
Yeah.
And it was it's funny, I couldn't help but think, but with Jeffrey D. Morgan playing Conquest and just beating the shit out of Invincible, played by Steven Yeun, I'm like, damn, Negan getting Glenn again. Like, oh, but yeah. But next on the list, we have Reacher season 3, episode 6, Smoke on the Water. Jack Reacher and Zachary Beck are summoned to meet Xavier Quinn, also known as Julius McCabe, the man responsible for the death of Reacher's protege. Despite their violent history, Quinn does not recognize Reacher due to the amnesia from a previous encounter. Quinn, involved in both arms dealing and human trafficking, seeks to complete a lucrative deal but must keep his lackey Zachary Beck alive for the transaction. Reacher, posing as Beck's protector, befriends Beck's son Richard, who trusts Reacher over his father. When Quinn learns that military personnel have accessed his records, he orders brutal retaliations. Reacher escapes an assassination attempt and plans on operating in Los Angeles after burning a Leeds boat. Meanwhile, former ally Francis Neagley survives an assassination attempt and rushes to support Reacher, whose cover as Beck's security chief is now compromised. As Reacher fights off Quinn's goons in the woods, he utilizes his resourcefulness to turn an ATV winch into a deadly weapon. The episode concludes with Reacher, Duffy, and Villanueva determined to dismantle Quinn's operation and rescue Teresa. Yeah, it's wild when he's like in the woods with these guys. He like smears the mud on his face, so he's not easily seen in the dark, and does the typical scene we've seen played over many, many times, in many shows and movies. But then he shoots out their headlights on their four wheelers, and one guy he he takes the winch cable, wraps it around his neck, and then hits the button and up against the four wheeler. Like, it don't get bloody. It won't show that. Like, soon as it tightened up against the four wheeler, it cuts off. But it's like,
It's
dang,
just the
okay.
sound that you made in general. It's just
Yeah. But
Mhm.
yeah, so this is nearing wrapping up as well. I think there might be 2 more episodes left, if I'm not mistaken. So
Okay.
it's wild. All these different things I'm watching is all season 3s, and they've almost all pretty close, like, started at the same time.
Yeah.
Speaking of season 3 things, Severance. Season 3, episode 9, Goodbye for Now. At the name of the title, you would think this is the or the episode finale for the season, but it's not. We have one more
Mm.
episode. So I'm
Mm.
going to jump into the synopsis of what happened in this episode 2. It opens with Helena Egan swimming, a symbolic moment as she prepares to embrace her family's legacy. Over breakfast, her father, Jamie Egan, subtly pressures her to follow tradition, hinting at deeper expectations. On the severed floor, Helly grows suspicious of Mark's sudden absence, but her concerns are dismissed. Meanwhile, Miss Hong completes her Wintertide Fellowship, is reassigned, marking another cryptic transition within Lumen. Milchek, under pressure from his superiors, reaches a breaking point, standing up for himself in a rare moment of defiance. Meanwhile, Mark, now aware of his wife's Lumen connections, secretly teams up with Harmony Cobell and his sister to uncover the company's secrets. Elsewhere, Dylan is devastated when his wife reveals an emotional affair with his innie, leaving him questioning everything. The episode builds tension as alliances shift and the truth about Lumen edges near. Like, it's insane. Like, they're about to take the soul place down. I hate that woman, as we spoke last week about Cobell, and now she's helping because she wants to take it down. And I was like, I don't know. I hope she has her time and he gets rid of her somehow. And I don't know. She's done some evil
Damn.
things. Yeah. But what's probably I laughed so much about it. I'm like, but at the same time, like, if this was real, hypothetically, it would be kind of weird. But so Dylan is actually, his wife is going to visit his innie, who has no memory of his outside life, and vice versa. And he's actually, his innie is more nicer to him. Like, he pays more attention to her, and it kind of reminds her of who he was when they first met, which is kind of
Oh.
sad, to be honest with you,
Yeah.
because he's kind of like not giving up on life, but kind of just existing in life on
Yeah.
the outside.
That makes
And
sense.
yeah, yeah. And they end up kissing, and they get, a little friendly, and they start growing feelings or whatever. Well, she gets feeling bad about it, so she's like, I she's like, I kissed your innie. It's hilarious that they call these innies, but oh, he gets so mad, and he's like, you're cheating on me with me. Yeah, yeah. And you think about it, you're like, shit, that is kind of weird that you put it like that. But at the same time, it legit kind of is cheating, even though it is with your same person. It's because it's your person with a completely different
Mindset.
mindset and no memory. I
Yeah.
don't know. But yeah, and I'm really curious. I think there's gonna be a lot of stuff go down with this one episode left.
Yeah.
Obviously, I think there's definitely gonna be another season. I don't think it's
Mm.
no way this could end here.
Yeah.
And the success from this show is been insane. Like
Mm.
so many people have been watching it. But yeah, Severance. I'm going to be it's gonna be bittersweet when this last episode comes out because I've thoroughly been enjoying this. But something I probably have not been this excited. I probably have been this excited as I am for Marvel stuff, and this is a non-Marvel news. But one of my favorite all-time favorite movies is Young Guns with the stat cast. Young Guns 1, Young Guns 2. You have Emilio Estevez, you have Lou Diamond Phillips, who I've met, got his autograph. But you have Charlie Sheen in the first one, Christian Slater in the second one. So it's
Mhm.
so many great people. Emilio Estevez this past week announced that they are making a Young Guns 3. And oh my God, like, I don't even know how they're going to do this, where it's going to be. Like, I don't even know what story, but I'm here for it. It's called
Yeah.
Dead or Alive. They've announced that they're going to shoot this in New Mexico, like they did the first two movies as well. And that's about all the information we have on this at this moment. But I'm so giddy, like like I'm so freaking excited because I don't know, like I'm not like a huge Western fan, but I do love a
Mhm.
good Western. A
Yeah.
lot of your older Westerns are cheesy and kind of bad acting, but I don't know, something about this cast and the storytelling of this is of Billy the Kid.
Yeah.
It's one of the most phenomenal. That and Tombstone's probably the best. But yeah, super excited.
So
But
since you've seen Tombstone, have you seen Wyatt Earp?
oh yeah, yeah, that's another good one
Okay.
too. Kevin Costner.
And
Yeah,
yeah, The Untouchables, you've seen
yeah,
that
oh
one as
yeah.
well?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Cool. Cool. Cool.
I like Wyatt Earp. So I think there's things with like Kevin Costner and Kurt Russell playing both Wyatt Earp that they both really did. There's pieces of both of them I wish you could almost combine, and it's like almost a perfect Wyatt Earp. But anyways, uh, have you seen all those? I guess since you just okay, okay. So have you seen Young Guns?
I saw the first one. I don't
Okay,
remember
the
seeing
first
the
one's the
second
best
one.
one.
I might have seen the second one.
Hmm.
I just don't remember because during that time, like Emilio Estevez was kind of in like all of the 80s like movies. He was
Yeah,
in
yeah,
Men at Work with Charlie Sheen. Since the two of them are brothers, that's also hilarious. And their dad is Michael Sheen, who's
right.
also a very big name actor.
Yes,
But anyway, so Emilio Estevez was in Men at Work. He was in Breakfast Club, St. Elmo's Fire.
yes.
He was in Young
Mighty
Guns.
Ducks.
He Mighty Ducks, and there was like three of those, and
Yes.
that's just to name a few 80s movies that he
Hmm.
did. Like, so it's kind of hard for me to recognize which ones are which,
Yeah.
because he looks the same in all of them, um, and I had like a huge crush on him. So like realizing like who he was in what,
Hmm.
it's kind of hard. I would have to rewatch honestly both of them before I would like watch this one. But that's kind of what I do for all sequel movies. Like before Lilo and Stitch comes out, I'm definitely gonna watch Lilo and Stitch 1 and
Right.
2, and probably some of the episodes because it's all on Disney Plus. And then before Freakier Friday comes out, I'm gonna watch Freaky Friday. It's just something that I do.
Right.
The same thing with like Deadpool and Wolverine. Before that came out, I don't want to tell you how many movies. I watched a lot of movies because I didn't know what to expect to watch for that. And I
Mm,
watched like, X-Men 1, 2, and 3. And I watched X-Men Origins, or the Wolverine Origins. And
mhm.
um yeah, dude, I watched Deadpool 1 and 2. Like I watched a lot of movies preparing for that movie because I didn't
Right.
know what to expect. And I'm glad that I did all of that.
Yeah, so it is. I think it's been said though. Christian Slater also will be returning to this. So it's
Oh.
yeah. So it was it was Christian Slater. Haven't seen him in nothing in a long time, and then out of nowhere, he's now in Dexter Original Sin, playing Harry Morgan,
Yeah.
and then now
Yeah.
he's probably going to be in this. I did
Mhm.
see a rumor deal where like it's rumored that this may be like a story of like a younger group of regulators coming in. So I don't know if it's going to be Emilio Estevez as an older Billy the Kid, maybe mentoring or kind of I don't know. I don't know. I'm here for it though.
Because didn't Billy the Kid die,
Well,
like,
so
in real life?
on the second, oh yeah, he's dead.
Yeah, like no, but I mean, like, didn't he die when he was young?
So so here's the deal. I could be wrong, but I want to say he disappeared and nobody ever seen his body.
Oh,
Yeah, so
okay.
that's where hang on real quick. So that's where like on the second Young Guns,
Uh-huh.
it actually is like in the early 1900s, like 1902, 1903, or something like that. And it's actually an older Billy the Kid who starts off. It's Emilio Estevez wearing prosthetics and he's old. And he's like telling this kid the story of him back in, or telling the story of Billy the Kid, but not
Mm,
letting this kid know that he is Billy the Kid. But us,
yeah.
the audience knows. And that's like the deal where like, oh, he's just some old man now in hiding and he was never discovered.
Okay.
Let's see. Says, yeah. So this says after being caught in jail in April 1881, Billy the Kid managed a legendary escape, cementing his status as a Western icon. On July 14th, 1881, the kid was shot and killed by Sheriff Pat Garrett, who was his friend, never have receiving his pardon. But there's always been like rumors that he actually didn't die. And that's why I think they did that how they did that in Young Guns 2 with him being old and stuff. It's
Okay.
like he just went in hiding and he actually
Mm.
survived.
Because if it's his friend that shot him.
Mhm. Well, they started out as friends and then they became enemies because,
Yeah.
Pat Garrett was chasing him for quite some time actually.
Mhm.
But,
Okay.
I don't know. Yeah, but yeah, like I'm not going to get more deeper in this, but there's a little that says murky details have led to other theories about Billy the Kid of after getting shot by Pat Garrett. So, anyways,
I
I don't
mean,
know.
it was the 1900s, so
Right, right. Anything could have
like
happened.
early 1900s. So, yeah, they had
Uh,
plagues going on and stuff. Who knows? Who
right.
knows? Or
Uh,
pandemics, as we call them now.
so speaking of Russo brothers, that's
Yes.
not Marvel related, but has a lot of Marvel elements. I feel like in it.
Mhm.
The Electric State came out on Netflix on the 14th. It's done by the
Yes.
Russo brothers. Has Chris Pratt and Millie
Yeah.
Bobby Brown and
Yes.
a whole
To
bunch of other
name a few.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah. The bot right there on the right, you see that's actually voiced by Anthony Mackie. You have some iconic music playing in this, from 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
Uh, I don't know. It has a very Russo feel, except
Mhm.
you said you only get made it halfway through it, right?
Yeah, so
So
I only made it halfway through it.
I don't
It
want to
was
ruin it, so I'm gonna kind of leave it spoiler free for you. Are you gonna go back and watch it?
I probably will watch the
Okay.
rest of it. It was just hard for me to watch just because of the state of the world right now and how they just took it from being people and made them robots, and that's what it felt like. Of like, I don't know if you felt the same way, but they made like a camp, if you will, or like kind of like made an area
Mhm.
for like robots because they were trying to get rid of all these robots, and they just made an area for robots and just started shoving them in there.
Yeah.
And
After like a 3-year war with them.
right. So it was different
Yeah, it's different.
because of how to like watch it from like, all right, well, we see what's going on in the world right now,
Yeah.
to like what this is. It was like hard to watch. But then it just also, like, after, like, how it felt kind of like real life, like it kind of started out good, and
Mhm.
then I guess like a year later or whatever is when the accident happened, and
Mhm.
now you see Millie Bobby Brown with the blonde hair, and
And
then
and
it
a
just
foster
kind of
care.
Yeah, and then it kind of like was hard to watch like after that because I didn't find it like interesting. It didn't catch my
Okay, so
attention.
I found it interesting actually.
Okay.
I thought it was fun, but one thing
Hmm.
I will have to say, it was a very surface scratching level movie. So
Yeah.
there was some moments, and I'm not gonna get into them so that way you can watch it, but throughout the movie and mainly at the end and at the beginning, the part you did see where you should have felt a lot more emotion in it, and
Mm.
because of what happened and scenes that had happened, but like you didn't feel it. Like it happened, but you didn't feel it happen. I don't know.
Are you
It's like,
talking about like the parents with their accident type
well,
thing?
that kind of. I mean, that wasn't really built up. That was more built
Yeah.
up in the story, not for you to really just get emotional about. But there's some
Yeah.
stuff that happens at the end. You're like, damn,
Okay.
I should have felt more of what just
Oh.
happened, but like you just didn't feel it inside. I
Mm.
don't know. Uh, It was I don't know, I don't think it was executed very well. Uh,
I mean, the Russo Bros got a lot on their plate, and I don't know if
they
they just
do,
wanted to do this to see if
and
they
this
could
is
do
a Netflix
something.
budget too, I'm sure.
Well, apparently this had a very large Netflix
Oh, yeah,
budget.
you're right, 320 or 80,000,000 it took?
I don't know, it was a stupid budget,
Yeah,
and people were like,
yeah, I think Captain
"Yikes!"
America was 190,000,000, Captain America: Brave New World, 190,000,000, and this was 320 or 380. I will say this, I thought the CGI was good.
Yeah,
For a
from what I
Netflix
saw of
movie,
it, yeah.
the CGI was pretty good. I don't know,
Mhm.
I really liked the idea of the movie, and there was a lot of things in the movie I enjoyed, but there was a lot of things that just didn't hit for me.
It it made me feel like I was watching an episode of Love, Death, and Robots, but
I've not seen
extended.
that.
Okay.
I haven't. Is it good?
Yes.
Okay. What is that on?
Netflix.
Okay. Huh. Yeah, I've never seen that. I've heard of
Yeah.
it, but I've never seen it.
Yeah, you should put that on your list to watch. And we should talk about it
Speaking of
eventually.
things that you've put on my list to watch and I absolutely in love with, you wanna, talk about Righteous Gemstones? The
Fuck
new
yeah, I
season?
do. Dude. All right. So Righteous Gemstones, final season. So it's season 4, episode 1. It's gonna be every Sunday that they're gonna come out with an episode, and this is called Prelude. So it kind of takes you like back in time as to when Eli Gemstone was not a preacher yet, and he was kind of like a guy that was like gambling and went around and like went into this church, and he ended up shooting the preacher for the money that he had just like gotten from his like thing, his like congregate or whatever. Um, so then like the police come to the door and he's like, no, I'm the preacher. Why are you coming for me? This guy is Eli Gemstone, and don't ever fucking trust him. So I wonder at like one point in time that Bradley Cooper, who plays the young Eli Gemstone and does a phenomenal job.
Yeah, he
Jesus Christ,
does.
that was amazing.
Yeah, I love Bradley
Um,
Cooper.
yeah, like so we got to see him shoot the preacher, become a preacher, and then now it's during like World War I, and it was
No,
like
no, no, it's not World War One.
oh no, it was a battle of like the Civil War kind of thing,
That's
right?
North and South, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Thank you. So, it was during that time, and they wore like these like funky looking hats that looked like cans that were like bent, and they were fighting like other people or whatever. But anyway, like people were dying, and he was meant to be the preacher, and people would ask him to pray with them, and he was just like, or I could just sit here, just pray for you in my mind, like because he doesn't pray.
Straight
So
con artist. Like,
it was amazing. And then at nighttime, like he is drinking and gambling and
and a
playing
good
cards, doing
gambler.
the things. Yeah, no, he really is, and he's doing the things that he shouldn't be doing, and he's saving up money underneath his bed in this like box that um doesn't really end up so well because like
Yeah.
the other side like come and find them, take them all hostage, find his money box, and like um start going through everybody's belongings, and inside of Bradley Cooper's little satchel, if you will, there's a gold Bible in there, and they pull it out and they're like, "Oh, I think this guy's a preacher," and he's just like, "Yep, I'm the preacher." And they're like, "Well, we don't kill men of God." So they killed literally everybody else, but before they did that, they had Bradley Cooper give his last sermon, and it was like one of his best sermons that he
Yeah.
ever did, and he realized that there's more to life than just drinking and gambling. So he takes all of the bodies back to camp so they can give a proper burial for them, which I thought was really sweet.
Yeah.
And then the last thing that you got to see him do is sitting at this table. He actually opens up the first page of the Bible and he starts to read it.
Mm.
Um, to kind of start his actual Eli Gemstone as the righteous gemstones,
Right.
creating this mega church that he has now that is kids are going to take over for that we know is about to happen in this last season. But the fact that they got Bradley Cooper, of all people, to just,
It's a big name. Well, I mean, this thing's got big names in it, anyways. I guess,
oh, yeah,
but yeah,
absolutely it does. But
I didn't
to play
expect it to be
this,
him.
no.
Yeah.
I didn't either because I was like I was sitting there watching it with my roommates and we were just sitting there and we were watching it and Andrew was like, "Is that Bradley Cooper?" And we were like, "No, wait, yes, oh, there's Bradley Cooper." So, like it was really funny to watch it and watch like Bradley Cooper play the part of like the con man, um,
He
and
was a
be like a really
dirty,
good
dirty dog
gambler.
too.
Oh yeah, he was.
Yeah.
God damn it! But it's so good. We were laughing. It's still, even though it's like a serious topic to like talk about
Mhm.
war and people dying or whatever. Um, he finally like allows like he gets to the point where people are like asking him to pray with them, and he's like, "I could just sit here." And they're like, "No, I would really like it if you prayed with me." So then he'd get up and he'd like get close to them and like grab their hands, and then they would die. So
Yeah. And
yeah, that one
he would do
happened.
like take forever on purpose, like hoping they would die so he wouldn't have to.
And the second one was like this kid was like, I think I'm gonna go to hell, man. And he's like, "Well, why would you think that?" And he's like, "Well, I killed a lot of people." And he's like, "Oh no, God pardon that.
He
It's all right
changed
with
that.
God."
He's like, "Well, when did they change that?" He's like, "Oh,
Yeah,
just here recently."
yeah. That shit was fucking hilarious. I was like, "Oh my God."
Oh
The
man.
con man being a priest is great.
So I was shocked that it was the whole entire episode was actually the backstory. I thought it like
Mm,
toward the end or something like last 10 minutes maybe it would flip to nowadays, present day.
mm, yeah.
And it didn't. So I was like, "Okay, this is interesting." So
No,
I think
because
it's going to be
I think this whole season is about how like so I think it's going to be about how the church started because when we first started watching the first season, the church was already established.
Mhm. Yeah.
So we need to see like how Eli Gemstone became Eli Gemstone. Um, and then I don't know if they're going to really go into like him and his wife,
Mhm.
like that piece. Maybe he's going to meet the wife and then they're going to switch to modern day time.
Gotcha.
Um, and then you're going to see like it's going to be like him doing and building up something, and then it's going to switch to him being on that dock on that boat with the long scraggly hair and no longer a priest of the people and just like bumming it on a boat.
So you may laugh, but s obviously, like, I've just, like, binge watched all this and got caught up,
Mhm.
all of the seasons because you had told me about it, and, oh my god, it's so freaking hilarious. But, I watch this to laugh my ass off every episode, like, I this is not a serious feeling movie at all, but
Yeah,
but the last episode of season 3 where, like, the whole family's out together and they're running that monster truck or whatever, and they're all
yeah,
finally
dude.
getting together, there was
Yeah.
something slightly emotional about that to me. I was like,
Oh yeah, no, and it should
"Well,"
have been because
yeah, because I was like, "Oh, they're all getting along, the cousins, and everything." And I was like, "I cannot believe this movie or the show on this episode is making me actually feel something emotional and happy for them." Because like it's such a great comedy. It's freaking off the wall, insane
it's
crap
great
that what
storytelling. Yeah.
no, it is, yeah. And like that's the last thing I expected anything, and it shocked me, it surprised me. It came out of nowhere. I was like, shit, okay. Uh
Well, they had been fighting all of this time to see them actually have like a good, meaningful, peaceful moment.
Yeah.
That's why it was so rewarding, is because they've been shooting at each other and just like
Mm.
ratting each other out. And you got BJ who just had the nose job, and you just have like ridiculous things. And then you have Baby Bobby Billy and and him doing his cons and stuff. Like, where the fuck
Bible
did this man
bonkers.
even come from? Bible bonkers. Yeah, which was a Jesus Jeopardy.
Family Feud.
Oh, Family Feud.
Family Feud.
No, that's
Yeah.
right, because it was definitely families that were. Oh
They're
my
like
god.
well they're like this sounds exactly like Family Feud. He's like, but it's different, you know.
It's
And,
with God.
yeah, and they're like, nah, this is exactly Family Feud.
Yeah.
Oh man! And then like he finally got to do his debut episode trying to win the NASCAR driver over Dusty. Was it Dusty Johnson or Dusty something? I don't know.
I don't
I don't
remember
know,
it
but
because I
it's
watched
so
these all when they
wild.
come out. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And Walton Goggins, man, dude is just freaking hilarious. I
yeah.
didn't
So
real
he had
I
this
was
come out. He had. He's having Fallout. He's doing the
mhm.
tapings for that, and he just had White Lotus come out. Like, this
Yep.
man is
Yeah.
also having a great year.
I didn't realize
Great
Macaulay
couple of
Culkin was
years.
gonna be in it as well. He was actually Walton Goggins' son that he left years ago.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, Macaulay Culkin. And what's
I
wild is
forgot about that.
him and Macaulay Culkin are gonna be in Fallout together in this new season,
Hmm.
next new season. So I was
Yeah.
like, that's cool. But
Yeah.
oh man, it's funny. If you're not watching
I'm
this,
ready for
please watch
I'm ready
this.
for the second episode tonight. Like, it's
Yeah.
our new penguin every Sunday night, right?
Yes. Yes. For sure.
Yeah.
uh. So you have some. Oh no, never mind.
Yeah, no, the accountant. So,
Yeah.
um
Well, I seen the one below it. I was like, oh, here we go.
Oh, yeah, no, I got that too. Don't worry, I've
Yeah.
got it cooking. But The Accountant 2 is a movie that's going to be coming out in, I think it's April, yeah, April
Mhm,
25th. So we had The Accountant 1,
mhm.
and that did
It's
really
really
well.
good.
Like, I didn't really expect it to be as good as it was with Ben
Ben Affleck.
Affleck and what's the girl's name with the face?
Oh, with the
She
face.
was in Pitch Perfect. The main girl in Pitch Perfect with the
Oh,
cup song.
Anna Kendrick.
Anna Kendrick, thank you.
Yeah. Yep.
So, so she was in The Accountant, and now we have The Accountant 2 coming out. Didn't really know that this was a thing until like I started hearing news about it. John Berthal is going to be in this as well.
Yep.
Um, so they already have a Rotten Tomato score that came out for it. It's an 86, which is actually better than number one, which got like a 56 or something. Like, it's a
Oh,
whole like
really?
30 points better. Yeah.
Huh.
Um, and the director that's for the movie that did number one and is now doing number two, his name is Gavin O'Connor. He actually confirmed just this past week that it's going to be a trilogy.
Oh, really?
So we already
Nice.
know that we're supposed to have number three eventually come out. I don't I don't know. I don't know how I feel about having a number two for this movie. I don't really know where they're going to go with it.
I don't either, but I'm here for it. I really enjoyed the first one, and what's wild
Yeah.
is the first one didn't just recently come out. It came out in 2016.
Yeah, no,
Uh,
it was a while ago.
yeah,
Which is why everybody's like
but like
confused as to like,
what
this
you
is
said,
happening
how
now.
you were surprised at how good it was, I was very
Mhm.
surprised. I
Mhm.
watched it one day. I remember I didn't watch it when it first came out. I think I watched it
No.
back in like 2019 maybe, and I was like, it's just one of those days where you're like, ah, sure, I'll give this a shot, and you just click it, and I was like, oh wow, this is actually pretty good.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, yeah, I was shocked. So I'm here for it. I'm here for the second one.
Yeah, I'm just hoping that they don't do it for the sake of doing a sequel, that it
Yeah,
actually has some depth to it.
right.
Because I hate when they just like do sequels to movies for money grabs.
Mhm.
Um, Kind of how it feels like they're doing Frozen 3 and 4 and Incredibles 3, and it's just like continuing, with that. I I don't know how I feel about it, but only time will tell. We'll see when we get like trailers, and so I don't think we have a trailer yet, even though it comes out next month. I don't think
Mm,
I've seen a trailer for it. I don't know. There might be a trailer and I just might have missed it, but
I think there is. Yeah, no, there is a trailer. I've seen it.
okay.
Yep.
Oh,
'Cause
was it good?
I remember John Bernthal and Ben Affleck having conversation in it because John Bernthal comes in to help him. I don't know why I did that. Like they were
I don't
talking
know.
to each other. Yeah, like, I don't know. I don't know what's up with
I don't
that.
know. Do you remember like the kids like another random tangent? Do you remember the little kids like uh nursery rhyme where it's like little bunny foo foo
Yeah,
hopping through the forest?
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's exactly what
Like
like that
2 bunny
reminded me of.
foo-foos,
Yeah.
2
Going
rabbits
at it.
going at
Just
it when they counting too. Oh, goodness.
um anyway.
Speaking of
On
wild
to
shit.
speaking of nursery rhymes and kid things that are no longer kid things, we have a new Mickey movie, and it's called Mickey versus Winnie. And this is going to be part of the Dark Domain universe. So they're apparently making another universe. We have the Twisted Childhood universe. Now we have the Dark Domain universe. There's a trailer that came out for this, and it's in production. Doesn't have an actual date as to what it's supposed to come out. Um, but it looks different to say
It
the least.
it does. I ain't gonna lie. I may watch this. I may watch
Yeah,
this.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna wait for it to come out on streaming on something, just like all the
Oh,
other
no, I
Mickey
will.
movies
No,
and yeah.
I'm not going to theater to see this. Let me make
Okay.
that real clear.
I don't even know if it's coming out onto theaters, but
Probably not. I don't know if it'd be legal to come out in theaters.
well, no, it's very
That
I was
sounds
showing it.
sarcastic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
I was showing it to my roommate, and she was saying that it had very Winnebago type vibes to it, and I was like, "Oh, yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
no, it really does." Because they're like in the forest, and there's like kids running around, and then the scene where Mickey with the really weird makeup, he gets like he's like looking
Weird.
at the screen, and he says it tastes like chicken, and
Yeah.
then he does like some weird thing, like he's got like I guess like a noodle hanging out of his mouth,
Slurping. Yeah.
and he's
Mhm.
like slurping it
Yeah.
in. It's God, that's weird. It was weird.
It's
I had to
definitely
watch it
weird.
twice because I was just like, this is not what
There's
I
a
expected.
lot of it was like people wearing masks and killing people in the woods, running around in the
Yeah.
woods and stuff.
Yeah,
And
and then you
I
have the one female that's like screaming at the top of her lungs, covered in
mhm.
blood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, when she did that, like, that scene there, it looked really cheap. There was moments where it looked cheap, but
Mm,
there was moments of the trailer, like and definitely not the Taste Like Chicken one, that was a really bad scene. But there's some moments, I
yeah.
don't know, some I was like, I may wa this maybe it's like, I may watch this. Actually, the
Yeah.
quality had, like not
Like
completely
the
bad,
close
but
up to the eyeball that was like peering through the tree.
yeah.
That was really cool. That was a good scene. It had like a yellow eye, so I wonder if that's like Winnie the Pooh is supposed to have yellow eyes because he eats honey. I don't I don't know. I don't know. It was like a minute
We may
trailer,
watch this
so
and still don't know.
uh,
'Cause
this is true.
I don't know if a lot will even make sense about this, but
I don't know, but it's
I love how
so
we, like, religiously follow this now, and it's a thing for us.
oh yeah, no, I am like
I
all
love
about
that.
it. I
Yeah.
love horror movies and the fact that anything that is now becoming a part of the public domain is
Yeah.
now becoming part of what
Mhm.
now this company is calling the dark domain.
Right.
Um I thought that was really cool and they're like it's going to be eerie or no, they said wicked. They said
Yeah.
the public domain is will be turning wicked and I was just like
Ah,
okay.
I see what you did there.
Yeah, and then it shows like the public domain, and then the public slips
Mhm.
and turns into Wicked, and then when the MVW for Mickey versus Winnie popped up, and then there's like a blood splat that happens. I absolutely thought that was hilarious. Um, yeah, dude, it's it's different. It's differently
It's
different.
very, very different.
Mhm.
It's definitely not for just anybody.
No. But for things that should be for everybody and are is a scary movie, we have The Quiet Place 3. It got greenlit by Paramount, but they're waiting for John Krasinski's schedule to open up. They had said
Mhm.
for them to show what they have like for a script or kind of an idea
Mhm.
in order to start running with it. But they want The Quiet Place 3 to like actually happen, and I love that it actually is happening or
Oh yeah,
supposed to
I love those movies.
eventually happen. Yeah. You have Quiet Place 1 and 2, which has been absolutely amazing. And then you had Quiet Place Day 1, which was also really good. I hope that they make a sequel for that one as well. Didn't really have many expectations for Quiet Place Day 1, and
Yeah,
they pleasantly surprised me. I was happy with that.
yeah, I didn't have no issues with it. It's probably my least favorite out of the 3,
Hmm.
that's out, but I still enjoyed it. There's nothing I'm
Hmm.
complaining about, but it probably falls last on my list of the 3 that are out, so
Yeah, I think
but
1 is still my favorite one.
oh, yeah.
Yeah. And
It's
then
heartbreaking and emotional too.
oh my God, it's so
Oh,
good though. It's so
so
good.
good. John Krasinski acting and directing did a phenomenal job.
Yeah. That man is amazing. I want him in everything. I want him to
Yeah.
just be in everything because
That's
he's amazing.
hashtag my Reed Richards right there, let me tell you.
That's hashtag my man. My man's. When you say my man, that's what you mean. Did you see what your man's did? Yeah, I saw what John Krasinski did. That's my man's. Hashtag my man's. But speaking of Disney things that we were like, coming out
Yeah.
this week, we have Snow White and the Seven Dwarves. So they had some new posters come out, and this is one of them. And then they also had a clip that they debuted to kind of get the hype of this movie back up. And you have Gal Gadot as the evil queen, kind of like rudely snapping like crab legs and being super obnoxious with her
I don't like it.
eating,
I don't like it.
and it
I don't
makes
like
your
it.
skin crawl.
It
But
does.
while she's like doing this like eating very nastily, very like it's supposed to make you feel icky. Um, you have Snow White sits down and she's like, "Hey, your people aren't happy. Like, here's what we can do. This is what my parents did." And as soon as she said the words "my parents," you saw Gal Gadot's face, like look at her like, "Bitch, I hope you would. Like, go ahead, talk about your parents,
Hmm,
because
hmm.
I'm your evil stepmother or whatever, the evil queen." So I don't know. So I mean, there's gonna be pieces of this that are probably good, but this
Don't
is a
have high
streaming
hopes.
movie for me.
Yeah. What was some
Oh
of the stuff
no,
you were
no.
talking about with, the dwarves you was telling me earlier too?
The what?
The dwarves you were telling me?
Oh, so there's some controversies with this movie, and Peter Dinklage had said in an interview that it was kind of wrong for them to AI like all of the dwarves, and I don't know if since then they had changed it because I had saw an interview where one of the dwarves was an actual person, a
Oh,
small
really?
person, if you
Okay.
will. So I don't know if they had changed that about it or if they just have like one person,
Mm,
or if all like I don't really know what they did with that or what's really going on with that because the Snow White movie has a lot of controversies about it, and it's not something that I was wanting for a live action movie. It
mhm.
was made back in like what the 50s,
Yeah.
like
It's one of the oldest.
yeah, and it's definitely has like a one of those vibes of uh, not it just like that women need a man in their lives, which is why Snow White like needs true love's kiss or whatever to wake her up.
Oh,
Um, huh?
fun fact real quick, were you talking about, like,
Yeah,
50s or whatever? The
yeah.
original Disney animated film, Snow White and Seven Dwarfs, premiered in 1937.
Oh, there you go. 37.
That is wild.
I think the 50s was Cinderella.
Probably.
It was Cinderella and Lady and the Tramp. If I remember correctly. There's a lot of different like original Disney movies that came out in the 50s, but I did remember that this was one of the old ones, and I couldn't remember when it came out. So 30s, cool. So it was just like I was like, it's a movie that was made, and I think that that was just like one of the things that we should just leave. We had oh no, Maleficent was Sleeping Beauty. Yeah, and
Hmm.
Maleficent was really good. I like
Yeah, I
Sleeping
enjoyed it.
Beauty. Yeah. But I did love Maleficent. I love I loved Angelina Jolie playing her. I don't really have any thoughts, recommendations, excitement about this movie.
Yeah,
If you have
same.
kids, maybe you want to go see it, but uh, I'm gonna wait for it to come out in streaming and probably even wait a little bit longer after that to watch it because I got a lot on my plate. I still haven't watched Moana 2, which is actually on streaming right now for
I
Disney
haven't watched
Plus.
it either.
So Moana 2 is something that I want to watch more than I want to watch Snow White. So take that as you will.
Mm.
But on more exciting news, things I'm excited to talk about because I want to talk about it. Life of Chuck. Life of Chuck. All right,
Yes.
cool. So Life of Chuck is a movie that I've been talking about for a really long time now. It's a Mike Flanagan movie that has Tom Hiddleston in it as Chuck, and they had a trailer, or not a trailer, sorry, a poster come out for it, and I absolutely love this poster. If you see, like, the names are like in like this order, and they very carefully chose what names go where, because if you look at what is highlighted, it says who is Chuck with a question mark down at the bottom. Um,
That's great.
Also, look at the cast. Cast is absolutely stacked.
Yeah.
I can't wait for this. June 6th is when it's supposed to come out finally to people everywhere because it came out at like a movie festival,
Mm.
and we normal people didn't get to see it, but everybody like was ranting and raving about it. And Mark Hamill actually brought his family to go and see it, and they absolutely loved it. Um, I remember like reading those reviews, and I'm absolutely happy that we're getting this, and we're getting like things like Toxic Avenger, that was also
Yes.
like a film festival movie that's finally coming out to theaters. Um, but yeah,
I'm ready
it
for this. Like anything
yeah.
Tom Hiddleston, I'll watch. So,
Anything Mike Flanagan, I'm gonna watch.
all right. And
Clayface
I
and
mean, this
such.
has a great collaboration. I mean, Mike Flanagan, Stephen King, uh, Tom Hiddleston, Mark Hamill. I mean, there's so many things why you should watch this. So,
Yeah, and so the thing that Mike Flanagan does is he uses usually the same people in his like movies. So he has Karen Gillian in it, and Mark Hamill that have been in his previous things. I don't remember if I saw Carlo Gugino on that poster for like the name, but no.
oh, Carl Lumbly's in this. Isaiah Bradley.
Okay. I don't see Carla Gugino, but she's usually in his stuff, and Kate Segal or something, I think is her name.
Oh, Katie
She's in
Seagal.
it too. Yeah. Um but usually Carla Gugino's in a lot of his films, like Gerald's Game she was in, and she was in one of the TV shows that he did for Netflix. The Haunting of Hill House or something or another. I don't remember. But I thought she was in like two of the projects that he did. But anyway, he always has like the specific pieces of artifacts that he keeps in every single one of his films or movies, and I can't wait to see that. Um, like the oh fuck, what is it called? The mirror from
Oh yeah.
Mirrors,
Mhm.
where you had Karen Gillian with her brother like making a movie about this mirror that like makes you kind of like kill yourself. So that mirror he's used in every single one of his things. You can see it in Doctor Sleep, and Jesus
Hmm.
Christ, there's so many movies that he's done and TV shows. So I could go on and on and on about Mike Flanagan, but please stop me because we got things that we still have to talk about.
Yeah.
So win or lose, episode 8 and 7 and 8 came out this past week, and 8 was the finale. So number 7 was called I Got It, and it follows a character named Kai. And Kai, she has a dad that used to be a pro baseball player. They moved to another state or county or whatever, and she got into softball with the all the kids that play the softball. And she's the um, in I can't even remember what the name of their little group is called, um, like their team name. But anyway, she moved, became friends with them. She's really good at what she does, and her dad is kind of like a little bit of an overbearing helicopter parent
Mm,
that really just wants the best for her, but he's like pushing all of his, well, I used to be a baseball player onto her, so she thinks that she has to, do the softball thing. At one point in time, she just wants to get better and better at her pitching, that she ends up like hurting her foot, and it kind of like resembles like a like athlete's like heel or whatever, like that pain
mm,
kind of nerve, like when you step on it that it like shocks
mm,
you. So she has that going on, but she refuses to tell anybody because she just wants to keep pushing. She keeps wants to push herself because everybody's relying on her. Um, and it's really like beautiful to see her do that, and um, kind of reminds you of like any time that you had your parent wanting you to be something and you just really wanted to make them
mm,
happy and impress them, and sometimes you ended up failing. So at the end of episode 7, she struck out and she got to see like the disappointment on her dad's face, and she was like really unhappy about it.
mm.
But episode 8 was called Home, so we finally get the episode where we watch Coach. So the coach that was all throughout all of these episodes, he finally gets his backstory, and you get to see that like he really wants to encourage his daughter who is on the team, but he doesn't want to make the other kids feel bad. So every single time he gets an insult, he puffs up his chest and he like takes it in deep air and more deep air, and then he never lets it out. So at the end of it, like he kind of
Gotcha.
becomes a big balloon because he has all of these feelings and emotions that he just keeps on like bubbling in, and he's upset. He's angry, and he's arguing with the umpire. And now the umpire, who is Blue from episode 2, where he has like the armor and the metal like
Right.
shield, and he's like hurling, like he's defending himself from insults. He like everybody has their little piece to tie into episode 8, but at the end, the girl from episode 1, Coach's daughter, she ends up calming down her dad, and they all go out for pizza afterwards, everybody from the team, and then she kind of just tells her dad at the end, like, I think I'm done with softball. And he like all of the parents from the team said, like, pretty much ganged up on the coach and said, like, we want Kai's dad to be the coach next year, because he has professional experience. So he kind of like had to take that in and took that in, took that in,
Yeah.
and was just like, I guess this is what you guys really want. Like, I guess this is it. And that was his last game anyway. So it was a really great series overall. I really enjoyed it. I guess there was controversies again with this win or lose
Really?
series. Yeah.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
and like they're all up on Google and stuff, but I enjoyed it for what it was. I mean, like I guess if you really try to read between the lines and like look into stuff, like everybody's gonna have an issue with something. The internet's always gonna have an issue with something. But
Oh,
I
ain't that
thought
the
this was
truth?
a cute, yeah, I thought this was a cute movie, or correction, series overall. That I was really happy with it. I'm really
Yeah.
happy that I watched it, and it was cute.
I still plan on watching it. So I don't care
Yeah.
what the internet says.
Well, you have some con spotlight you're ready to get into.
I do. So we have C2E2, which is in Chicago, Illinois. This will be April 11th through the 13th. And I picked 5, but like they have an insane amount. Like you go on their website, an insane amount of people between.
Hmm.
And what I really liked about C2E2, and I will say this was very different compared to a lot of websites I get on for cons, is they put all of their guests in alphabetical order, but they mixed in the celebrities with the artist uh,
Mm.
guest.
Yeah.
And No, it was, and they, I mean, mixed in alphabetically, like it wasn't sectioned off or nothing like that. I thought that was really cool because they are all artists of different kinds, and they didn't like put the celebrities like, ooh, they're the spotlight, they're above everybody else. So I don't know, it's something small, but I really enjoyed that. I thought that was really cool. They
Yeah.
mingled them in with everybody else on there. But
Hmm.
speaking of Emilio Estevez, he's gonna be in Chicago.
Oh,
So, oh man, ah, I won't be this one, but I have to get his autograph. But yeah, Emilio Estevez. Then we have John Boyega, who's from Star Wars, the later trilogy of Star Wars,
hmm.
and let's see, Judd Nelson, Breakfast Club, and can't really get autograph from Judd Nelson without getting an autograph from Molly Ringwald. So
Yo, that's crazy.
right, and
That's
then
three of the Breakfast Club guys.
yeah, and then Katie Seagal. Always been a big Katie School fan. Wasn't like big part of her, was it Al Bundy days? We were married with children, but I really loved her
Oh,
character in Sons of Anarchy.
yeah.
That Oh man,
She was
she
the
was,
mom.
yeah,
Yeah.
and she was ruthless, man, ruthless.
Yeah.
But man, there's so many more celebrities that's going to be there. But yeah, that would be my top five pick.
Yeah.
Man, there's so many artists there. I'm sitting here, if I had to guess, like between the artists and the celebrities they had all mixed together, there was probably 60 on there. I mean,
Damn.
it's a lot. So they will be having a panel though, a Lord of the Rings panel, and it's called There and Back Again.
Oh, I
And
love that. I love
yes,
that so much.
you will have all the actors, that was the four hobbits, Sean Astin, Elijah Wood,
Yeah.
shoot, I'm drawing a blank here. Dominic Monaghan, Billy Boyd, John Rhys
Yeah.
Davies, who played Gimli, and Andy Serkis. They're all going to be together doing this panel, and I've seen a clip this past week. I don't know if it was on Instagram or something like that. And it was them doing a panel together, and like they have so much fun, and they just kind of like
Yeah.
joke around in between. They're still like it was a Sean Astin was talking, and I want to say it was a Billy Boyd that plays Pippin was sitting there, and they all had bottles of water in front of them, because they have them for drink. Well, apparently there was a stack of bottles for like future guests sitting behind their chair. I guess he caught like a peek back behind his chair, so he reached back there, grabbed one, and put it in Sean Astin, gave it to Sean Astin. So Sean took it. He's still talking, just going on telling the story. And then he just goes back, grabs another one, and then he ends up putting like 9 in Sean Astin's arms while he's talking. And then finally Sean Astin stands up and just drops them all on the stage. But anyways, yeah, they look like they still have just as great a time as they did back then, acting,
Yeah.
together and stuff as they do today. So it's just
Mhm.
really cool to see them be really close and stuff, and still share, what they've done with Lord of the Rings. And my God, I would
Yeah.
kill to see one of those panels. So,
Yeah. I think that like Sean Astin is definitely one of those on the top of my list to get like an autograph for.
mhm,
Just because he was not only in Lord of the Rings, but he was also in Goonies, and now he's also in Stranger
mm,
Things, and
right,
uh,
right.
absolutely loved all of those. And then I want to say it was John Boyd that was in Heroes, the guy with the light bulbs, like he can light up. Have you ever seen Heroes?
No,
Yeah,
uh, yeah, have seen Heroes. Yes, 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 yes.
yeah.
Well, I know, not
It was
Billy
either
Boyd,
Mary or
but
Pippin.
Dominic Monaghan. He's the
Yeah.
one that was in Wolverine Origins, and he could light the light bulb, and he was in the group
Oh,
with him.
maybe I'm mixing the two.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
So he was a mutant. Okay.
That's Dominic Monaghan, and he was also in Lost.
Never watched Lost.
Me neither.
Oh.
No,
I thought
no.
you
So,
were gonna
so like
like be like, you need to get on that. I'm like, no, that's one I will not get into.
honestly, that's one I can care less about seeing. It has a huge fandom, but the people
Yeah.
who love it, I know there's a lot of people that really hated how it ended and like how they decided to, I guess, tie the story in. I've always heard people complain about
Yeah.
it, but
Yeah.
I honestly care less about seeing it. I don't know why. It just doesn't draw me in. So
It's not something, yeah. Oh no, Anthony Michael Hall's gonna be there too. Okay, so
yeah.
are all of them gonna be there? Is Ali Sheedy gonna be there? Hold on. Hold up.
Uh,
That oh man. That is insane. God damn it, my phone doesn't want me to do the things that I wanted to do. Okay, cool. So at least 4 of the 5. I can't see if Ali Sheedy is going to be in C2E2 because my phone just decided to shit the bed. It's cool. I
Hang
probably have
on,
too many
I'm about
tabs
to.
open. Okay.
You said what was her name again?
Ali Sheedy.
Okay. Well,
It starts with an A.
yeah. Yeah. Yep, she's gonna be there.
All right, well then 5 of 5. Dude, that's insane.
Yeah.
All of the
Yeah.
Breakfast Club is gonna be at C2E2. There's got to be a Breakfast Club panel then because
Oh, there is.
even so even with we talked about it a couple of weeks ago, the last time that we had a Breakfast Club like
Hmm.
photo op, and Emilio Estevez wasn't there, and then one of the other people weren't there. I think
Yep.
Ali Sheedy also wasn't there. So it was just Molly Ringwald, Judd Nelson, and Anthony Michael Hall that were all there. But now all 5 of them are going to be there. That's insane
And
because
you don't know when you'll ever get that again. I mean,
oh
all
yeah,
5
no.
of them, 'cause it's not very common to see that. So,
Hmm.
like, man, it would be so between that and then between, like, I want Emilio's so I have a picture of, the Young Guns of them. I think it's black and white, maybe black and white. But anyways, it's the whole Young Guns crew from the first movie,
Hmm.
and I got Lou Diamond Phillips' autograph on there, and he's the first one, but I plan on taking that with me and getting all of their autographs on the same picture. So and I have them
Ooh,
autograph over their character on there. That's my
yeah.
goal. That's my goal. So that's why I need his autograph.
Yeah, so that means you need Charlie Sheen's. Is it
Yeah,
Young Guns 1 or Young Guns 2?
yeah, Young Guns one. So yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And Lou Diamond Phillips is Charlie Sheen on there. Emilio Estevez. Oh, Kiefer Sutherland. That's another huge guy that I love. I'm a huge Kiefer
Ooh.
Sutherland fan
Yeah.
for more than Young Guns. So, man,
Yeah.
Lost Boys.
And now
He's a timeless actor.
he's in Spider-Man now. He's the Vulture.
No, that's Michael Keaton.
Damn it.
Kiefer Sutherland. He's also in that show called Designated Survivor. He was in
Nope.
he was Jack Bauer in 24. That show that was real big. 24. He stopped terrorism stuff. No. Lost Boys
Nope.
though. He's the lead vampire in Lost Boys from the 80s.
Well, yeah, but that's like an old movie. I just can't picture what he looks like now, I guess.
Gotcha. But he plays Doc, and his character's name's Doc in Young
Mm.
Guns. He's the one that was always writing poems in Young Guns and pursuing a relationship with the Asian girl that
Do you
Murphy was
remember
keeping.
like when I said that I watched this when I was a child?
Okay,
I
sorry.
don't remember. I
Okay,
don't remember. But anyway,
but
no,
yeah,
we gotta get you those autographs then. We gotta find
yeah.
cons unless somebody's gonna be at San Diego Comic-Con, which is also possible.
This is true, and I have not looked at that list yet. Oh my
There
god.
isn't a list
I
yet because
Oh,
they
okay.
they they, they release them periodically to
Mhm.
kind of get the hype about it. Anyway,
Yeah, we've had a long
C2E2.
episode this week.
Yeah.
Yeah, C2E2 though. Yeah, Chicago like C2E2. I've always heard like really good things. I've never been able to go to that one. I've been to Fan Expo Chicago, which is also a
Mm,
great time, but I've never been to
yeah.
C2E2, and that's another one that's always been on the list I want to make. But yeah, that kind of wraps us up this week. We
Yeah.
got some Righteous Gemstones to watch tonight, so we gotta get off here.
Yeah. And next week we're doing a live, so
We are,
get up for that.
because the following week we'll be making our first con appearance at Big
Hell
River
yeah.
Con. So super
Yeah.
excited.
Lots of
But
photos shall be taken.
definitely in video. But until
Yeah.
next time, see everybody later.
Peace.